The Phillies have given the Expos unlikely pennant hopes the heave-ho the last two nights, closing with a ninth-inning victory just hours ago and opening a 7-game lead in the East. This afternoon's business person special will allow all eyes to focus on Tommy Green. Green, who was forced from the mound 2 weeks ago with a nagging muscle pull, makes his comebacking start as the Phillies take out the brooms and say farewell to the Expos once and for all next. It's last chance time for the Montreal Expos. They face the Philadelphia Phillies in our business person special next. Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome to Phillies baseball this afternoon, exclusively on Prism. A last gasp chance for the Expos today, who've lost the first 2 games of the series. And while the win would be important for the first-place Phillies, the eyes will focus on one Tommy Green. Green, coming off the disabled list, making his first start since back on the 27th of July, when he first strained that right groin, looks for win number 13 against a funky little left-hander by the name of Kirk Reeder, one of those young Expo pitchers that's part of their future to come. And stay with us. Coming up next with their thoughts on this afternoon's game, Jay Johnstone and Chris Wheeler at the Vet, right after this.
Richard Schickel of Time magazine says The Fugitive is a first-rate thriller. It's fast and furious, raves David Anson of Newsweek. Starts at a gallop and never stops to catch its breath. Harrison Ford is The Fugitive, rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
The home stretch is here, and the Phillies feast on the Mets live from the Vet Saturday night at 7, exclusively on Prism, the home game home of the Phillies.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to Veterans Stadium, the final game of the 3-game series on this business person special here on a nice afternoon at Veterans Stadium. Jay, day game after a long night game last night. Sometimes Jim Fregosi makes some changes in the lineup. How about today?
Well, today, at least he's afforded the opportunity to play some extra guys that do a very good job. Ricky Jordan will be in first base in place of John Kruk, giving him a day off. And Todd Pratt, who has done very well for the Phillies, will be behind the plate, giving Darren Dalton some time off. Everybody wonders about Lenny Dykstra. When's he going to get some time off? And manager Jim Fregosi has repeatedly asked him would he like some time off, and Lenny has very adamantly said, no, I want to play every day. I feel fine. I'm healthy. I missed a lot of time last year with my 2 injuries. I'm in there every day.
And he will be in there again today. Delano to Shields, by the way, that thumb last night, he does have a hairline fracture of the thumb. Obviously, he's out today and will be out for a while for the Montreal Expos. We'll be back with the starting lineups coming up right after these messages.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. By Mel and PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, no other book can match it, a Bell Atlantic company. By Texaco, save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fueler Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American road. By Coca-Cola, Phillies baseball and Coca-Cola, always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Foods, the company that says trust your family with our family. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be proud to be your bud.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
You certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Okay, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That dog is moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
Like
You're very welcome.
Time together.
#1 in America.
Right now, save on every #1 selling Ford at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. For just $199 a month, choose between a #1 selling Escort or Ranger. Loaded with extras, your choice, just $199 a month. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer during Ford's factory authorized clearance.
See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Hurry! Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
And back at Veterans Stadium, Chris Wheeler with Jay Johnstone and Gary Maddox. Here's your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Montreal Expos, managed by Felipe Alou. Randy Reddy will lead off and play second base. Mike Lansing is the third baseman. Marquise Grissom in center field. Larry Walker plays right field. Moises Alou in left. Darren Fletcher catches again. A young man just up from Harrisburg of Double-A making his major league appearance. Oreste Marrero will play first base and bat seventh. Will Cordero is a shortstop. He hits eighth. And on the mound, a left-hander, also a rookie, Kirk Reeder will pitch today for the Expos.
And for Jim Fergosi's first place Phillies, Holland, Stonker, Duncan, and Jordan on the infield. In Cavilla back in left, Dykstra in center, and Chamberlain will be back in right. Todd Pratt will be behind the plate, and one of the other Twin Towers besides Kurt Schilling is Tommy Green on the mound.
Phillies very happy to have Tommy Green back. 6'5", 219-pounder, 26 years of age, now making his home in Richmond, Virginia. #1 pick of the Braves in June of 1985. Tommy was 14th overall that year. There are the numbers on Green, and lifetime against the Montreal Expos. Great numbers, 5-1 in 7 games. With a 1.48 earned run average, including that no-hitter back in 1991. Here are the umpires for the ball game. Behind the plate, the veteran Joe West. At first base, crew chief Frank Pulley. Second base is Gary Darling. And at third base, Kerwin Danley. The sun broke through about 11 o'clock here at Veterans Stadium. And it is now hot and steamy. It should be a good afternoon for a ball game, especially for the hitters, as it's probably going to get tough on the pitchers as this game goes along. There's Delino DeShields with a hairline fracture of the left thumb. See the thumb in a cast as he's on the Expos bench, and what they have done this year without DeShields in their starting lineup. He has led off 106 times. Lou Frazier 3 times, Mike Lansing 6, and they add a new guy to that category today as Randy Reddy, the former Phil, leads off. Reddy had 2 hits in the ball game last night at AAA Rochester. Reddy batting .289 with 9 homers and 46 runs batted in. Reddy played at first base last night. So just underway, Tommy Green for the Phils. Fastball inside. They have no pitch count for him today. They want him to go out and throw, and he'll just take it from there and see how he feels and decide how long he's going to go.
I think that's something that everybody was a little bit concerned about and wondered about if they were going to have a pitch count on him, and it's nice to know that they're not.
Well, he was throwing the ball great right before he was hurt, and especially in that Cardinal game. He had gone 2 2/3 that night, had struck out 5, including 3 in a row when he blew that groin.
And remember, he did not want to come out of that game. He was very visibly upset, but the Phillies decided not to take any chances with the injury.
There's a base hit and maybe more for Reddy. It will be a double at least as Dykstra cuts it off. Tommy Green was throwing fastballs right by him, but then got a ball right down the middle to Reddy, and Randy is 3 for 5 now since joining the Expos.
Well, one of the big things about Reddy also that'll help him probably now stay in the big leagues, as we see this pitch by Green, the fastball running right back over the center of the plate, is the fact that he can play so many different positions. When you can play all those different positions, you're a big asset to any ball club.
Mike Lansing, the third baseman, will bat at .276 with 3 homers and 31 runs batted in. Randy Reddy with the leadoff double. Lansing will try and hit it the other way and move Reddy to third. Expos broke on top with a run in the first inning last night after DeShields got the second on a hit and an error and then scored. You could tell Delino DeShields had hurt himself last night. He was having a lot of trouble with that thumb, and he gutted it out for a few innings, but finally had to leave, and the x-rays not good for the Expos as he has that hairline thumb fracture. Ground ball to short, good base. Whoop, Stocker booted it.
Stocker saw Reddy break. I was just going to say good base running by Randy Reddy, because it was, and Stocker really wasn't going to have a play on him at third, but he tried to make it anyway, and then looked like he peaked and lost the baseball.
Green ran the ball in on Lansing, and as you can see, Stocker was going to go after Reddy, but he lost his footing. Watch as he tried to pivot himself to throw to Hollins. He just completely slipped, and he lost it. What he did was he peeked a little bit at the runner, took his eye off the ball, and he missed it.
Yeah, and Reddy had gotten a very good jump, and I don't think he was going to get him. It's just a double mistake there for Stocker, who was charged with the error, and the Expos in business with runners at the corners here in the first for Grissom. Marquis takes a breaking ball low. Todd Pratt behind the plate. Not many of these Expos have good numbers against Green, as you would imagine, with the numbers that Tommy's posted against them. Grissom okay at 5 for 18, 278. Larry Walker has the best numbers. Inside, 2-0. So Green came out throwing the ball very well, it looked like, to the leadoff man Reddy, who then doubled. Now the error by Stocker, and he falls behind Grissom 2-0. Another big crowd starting to filter in here on a business person special. Good move to first, but back in time is Lansing.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some of the excuses that kind of went over the phone lines today for all these people to be here. We should try have a little contest to see what the best excuse was to come out to a day game. I'm sure we get some beauties.
Just missed inside, 3-0. And some of them are still making them because there's a lot of empty seats that'll be filled before a few more innings pass.
It's called those long business lunches.
This one off to a shaky start. 2 on, nobody out, and a 3-0 count on Grissom. 3-0 pitch is right down the middle, taking all the way. Happy birthday. Or this is an anniversary to Bruce and Carol May. Bruce is the guard at the Phillies family box down the third base line. Also brings into the radio booth some refreshments during the game. So happy anniversary to Bruce and Carol. Three balls and a strike to Grissom. There goes the runner. The ball's hit to Hollins. He'll only have one play. He's going to come home. Safe. Todd Pratt wants to know how. Hollins hesitated. He wasn't going to get the runner at second. He hesitated coming home. And it's a fielder's choice and an RBI. As Reddy makes a heck of a slide, he is safe.
He is. What happened was that Todd Pratt got in front of the plate, but as he got the throw, it pulled his foot off the plate. You can see right there, he was not able to block the plate with his shin guard to keep Reddy off. Had the throw been a little bit more towards home plate, Pratt might have been able to stay on home plate, block it, and then there would have been an out.
I think he surprised him by coming home on that, because he was not in good tagging position. As you said, Jay, he didn't block the plate, and Pratt will block the plate. I think he thought Hollins was going to go to first, and all of a sudden here came the baseball.
The other thing is Dave kind of double pumped on that throw too. I mean, on a play like that, you just got to get rid of the ball.
Well, you got to get an out. So the Phillies in this inning are struggling with their defense. Runners at first and second, still nobody out. And Walker takes it inside. I mentioned Walker has pretty good numbers off Tommy Green. Walker 7 for 21 with a couple RBIs. 333. So 2 balls in the infield that should have been played into outs have not been, and Green continues to stay in trouble. That's Lansing, the runner at second, and Marquis Grissom on at first. The reason Hollins didn't go to second on that play was the fact that the runner from first, Lansing, was moving. And he fouls it back. On deck is Moises Alou. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A little bit of a break in this series for the Phillies. Walker, who came into this series with a 10-game hitting streak, only 1 for 7 so far.
Alou has been the hottest hitter, and there you see him on deck, and he was tossed out of the ball game last night. Breaking ball misses the Walker. 2-2. Belated wedding anniversaries. 30 years. They're married. Leora No, it's Lenore and Pat Schiraldi. We got a letter from Anna Schiraldi, and it got lost in the mail somewhere, and it was just given to us. So this is belated. So happy birthday to your parents, or happy anniversary to your parents. Fouled out of play down the left field line. You get so many of these, and sometimes they get misplaced, and we just found this one. And we hope they're watching the game today, and they've been married 30+ years now. Because this one's a week or two late. And with a souvenir, Tommy Green having to throw a lot of pitches here in the first inning, which was not the master plan.
No.
With him coming back off the DL. Here's a 2-2 to Walker. Struck him out.
Walker not having a good series so far, and Green with a very good pitch. A lot of velocity on this pitch. Just throws this one right by Walker. You see Pratt set up inside, but the ball was really right down the center of the plate.
Here's Lou, who's been killing the Phillies on first pitches in this series. He is a first ball fastball hitter. Knocked in 4 runs last night with an RBI hit and a 3-run homer. And they were on first balls. So let's see how they approach him. 2 on and 1 out now with Darren Fletcher on deck. Threw him a first ball breaking ball. And he was ready to hack at it. Took a check swing. That's good. I mean, he's been killing them with that first ball fastball.
Well, if you're going to throw that first ball fastball right down the center of the plate, then you got a chance to go after it. Right there, it was a good strike. It was a breaking ball, and Lou took it. So you could tell he was looking fastball all the way.
Another breaking ball and missed. You saw the numbers there on what he's done against the Phillies in this series, as he has been Montreal's hottest hitter against the Phillies. And Moises has been knocking in a lot of runs, 33 of them in his last 33 games, 43 and 52. Batting out of that 5 hole, which is a good RBI spot. Way up in the air, shallow left field. In Cavilla coming on, still coming on, makes the play in foul territory. Good run and catch by Inky. 2 down. Yeah, a long way for that one.
He sure did. That ball was hit a mile in the air. He looked like he surrounded a little bit because he didn't pick it up right away. You can see him kind of circling, and look at the run he has to make, but he stayed right with it, had his glasses down, made the catch, and quickly looked for the third base area to make sure that the guy that was tagging, because he came off, the guy at second base, which is Lansing, came all the way around to third. Now we have a little conversation at home plate between Joe West and Lou. I wonder what that was all about, Chris.
Fletcher fouls it off. Well, Lansing had gone a long way off second base, and then he had to run back.
Right.
But he got back in time.
Well, he got back in time. But Lou had a conversation with Joe West at the plate. I thought for a moment he might have been saying that when he swung the bat, it tipped Todd Pratt's glove.
Fletcher swings and misses at a breaking ball. Evidently, Lansing must have forgotten the outs as he was motoring around that bag, and that ball hit way up in the air. Maybe he was asking Joe West if he has a new album out. Here's the 0-2. Fastball whistles high and outside.
And Cavilla did a real nice job staying with that pitch, because the whole way in, looking at it, his glasses down, as we look at Joe West right there.
Cowboy, who was a country singer from North Carolina.
I don't think Kenny Rogers has a lot to worry about there.
Got a North Carolina pitcher and a North Carolina umpire. Struck him out. So Tommy Green comes back after the defense is shaky behind him and gets the job done. Gives up just 1 run. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. No score. Or 1-0.
Food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Isn't that candy that pulls apart like that?
Did I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and Food Mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody. And I would, too.
When you move into a new house, little things are going to come up. Unexpected things. Things the previous owner forgot to mention. So to make your new house a home, turn to the book with more choices. It can even help if you want to get out of the house for a while. The genuine news is the Bell Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
Here's your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Phillies, managed by Jim Fregosi. Lenny Dykstra, the Iron Man, in center field. Mariano Duncan at second. Ricky Jordan plays today at first base. Dave Hollins at third. Pete Incaviglia in left field. Wes Chamberlain, the right fielder. Todd Pratt gets a start today. He's catching. Kevin Stocker, the shortstop. And back on the mound today, 12-3, Tommy Green.
In for Felipe Alou's third place Expos. On the infield, Lansing, Cordero, Reddy, and Marrero. In the outfield, his son Alou in left, Marquis Grissom in center, Larry Walker in right, behind the plate, Darren Fletcher, and on the mound, good young left-hander Kirk Reuter.
There's the young left-hander, 6'3", 190-pounder, 22 years of age, from Hoyleton, Illinois. Pick number 18 in the June 1991 draft. Reeder's making his 7th start of the year. He's 2-0 with a 1.88 earned run average, 38 in the third innings, 36 hits, and the league batting .248 against him. He won his major league debut, then had 4 no decisions, and then pitched a complete game in his last outing, beating Atlanta 7-2 on August the 6th on a 5-hitter. From what we understand about him, Jay, he really works fast, and hitters are starting to step out a lot on him to slow him up a little bit.
And another point about Reeder is the fact that if he pitches inside and he has good stuff, you're going to see him stay inside a lot. He likes to go in and out, but he's a very gutsy young kid, and we'll tell you more about that after we heard what happened to him in Atlanta.
Strike one called to Dykstra, and he is ready to go. And Dykstra steps out. I mean, this guy, he got the ball back, and he has both feet on the rubber, and he was ready to pitch. Breaking ball misses. Watch this. Let's see if he does this all the time. Yep. He gets the ball and he doesn't move. He just gets ready to throw. And see Dykstra standing there? Dykstra standing there working on the gloves as the way he always does, trying to slow his tempo up a little. Next pitch is outside. 2-1.
Reeder with a fastball, a curveball, and a change. Fastball, he'll sink it into the left-hander. Try and stay away with the breaking stuff.
Looped into left field. Here comes Alou. Nice play. Moises Alou one away. Expos have not only a fine offensive outfield, they might have the best defensive outfield in the league.
See, Alou got a little bit of a late jump, but the glass is down. He wanted to make sure that he could get that ball and not make a shoestring catch, so he went into the slide and kept that ball about chest high. Made it look easy.
Mariano Duncan, the hero of last night's game, getting that base hit in the 9th inning with a drawn-in infield. Dunk batting at .278, a 9-game hitting streak, and he's hit .333 during that streak. And Reeder's first pitch is a strike call. Reeder was 5-0 at Harrisburg with a 1.36 ERA, promoted to AAA Ottawa, where he was 4-2 with an earned run average of 2.70. His contract, as you see the numbers on in there, his contract was purchased July 7th. From the Ottawa Lynx. So overall this year, having a fine season with the 11-2 and the good ERA under 2. Changeup, and Duncan fouls it at the plate, 1-2.
The incident where I alluded to this young pitcher as being a gutsy type guy is the fact that he was pitching in Atlanta. They had a little bit of a play. He dislocated his shoulder, his right shoulder, not his pitching shoulder, and he remained in the game to pitch. He did not want to come out. He said, hey, I don't pitch with that shoulder.
He said he didn't raise his arm as high, that's all. Jammer, looper center field, and a base hit for Duncan as Grissom takes it on one hop. So he tried to come inside there on Mariano Duncan, who fought it off, and Duncan now has a 10-game hitting streak.
We mentioned about Reeder pitching inside. A lot of Reeder's strikeouts are fastballs on the inside part of the plate, mainly because he's got the hitters looking for the pitch out over the plate.
Number 17, first baseman Ricky Jordan.
So Duncan on at first base. One out here in the first inning. Expos with a run in the top of the first, lead of 1-0. Ricky Jordan getting a rare start. Ricky had a base hit as a pinch hitter last night off Martinez, and he takes it down low, ball 1. The first baseman, Oreste Marrero, holding on Duncan as we look at Dennis Martinez, who had a no decision last night. Expos with a lot of rookies, 7 of them. And the first baseman, Marrero, replaces another rookie who was sent out, Derek White, who was here in the first game of the series. They have had 3 different first basemen in this series. You know, White, Reddy, and now Marrero.
One thing you got to commend the Expos on is the fact that whoever does their scouting just does a marvelous job, because the farm system is just stocked full of terrific young players.
Move over to first. Reeder evidently has a little slide step that he'll use to home plate to try and quicken his delivery. Yeah, the Expos for many years now have had one of the best, if not the best, farm systems in Major League Baseball. 2-0 to Jordan. Duncan fakes breaking and then stops, and the pitch is over for a strike. Dave Holland's the on-deck batter. Happy birthday to Anna Yanel of Philadelphia, who's 84, and to Mrs. Helen Reese of Humeville, Pennsylvania. Birthdays today. And another move over to first. He hasn't shown much of a move as of yet. Business person special number 4.
Have one more.
One more at the end of the month. There he goes, and he got picked off. Marrero's throw in time. He got him. So he hadn't thrown a good move over there yet, and he did that time. Duncan broke, and he saw him, did the left-hander Reeder, and he picked him off.
Watch his foot. He lifted it straight up. Anytime the foot goes behind the rubber, you have to go home. But Reeder lifted his foot straight up, and then when he saw Duncan break, all he had to do was then go to first base with it. Very quick, good move by Reeder.
And the pitch to Jordan is outside, 3-1.
I guess that's one way to find out what kind of a move he's got.
You better be careful about leaving early, that's for sure. And he walks Jordan. First walk of the game, and here comes Dave Hollins batting .350 right-handed, and he will face his lefty from the right side.
Now batting for the Phillies, number 15, third baseman Dave Hollins.
Did it seem to you that this game got here real early today? I mean, did it seem like we were just here?
Yeah.
So if it seems that way to us, you can imagine what it seems like to the players.
Yeah, no hitting, no infield today. They just kind of get here, put on the unis, and play. And sometimes it does take a while to get any tempo.
Well, not only that, there were, I think, 3 or 4 guys who went down to the Phillies batting cage, which is way underneath the left field stands. But the fact is that, you know, you're right. You have to make quite an adjustment. It seemed like you just left the ballpark at 12:30, 1 o'clock, and you're back here at 10.
Breaking ball hammered to third. And the flip over to Randy Reddy by Mike Lansing is in time. Phillies gone in the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. They'll leave 1. 1-0 Expos after 1.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in health care.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
It seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
There are lots of ways to have fun at a baseball game besides the game. Now, the games. The Phillies give Colorado a Rocky Mountain Low Monday, August 23rd, and Tuesday, the 24th at 7:35, and Wednesday, the 25th at 12:35 in a business person special. Then Cincinnati turns red Friday, August 27th at 7:35, Saturday, the 28th at 7:05, and Sunday, the 29th at 1:35 when kids get a baseball jacket free. Call 463-1000.
Shots fired. mama told me, you better shop around, shop around. You better shop around. My mama told me, you better shop around, shop around. You better shop around,
I always go to the shopping center 9 out of 10 people use.
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Belle Atlantic Company.
Hey, if you love Italian food, boy, you're going to love this one, because Cento is rooting for the Phillies this season, not only by putting great food on your grocery shelves, but they donate $200 for every Phillies home run to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. So far this year, Cento's donated $23,800 on the Phillies' 119 home runs. That leads the baseball world in homers, and the Phillies continue to put them over the fence, and Cento continues to cough up the dough.
This is Oreste Marrero in his first major league at bat. Hits the first pitch he sees from Tommy Green to second, one out. Marrero was signed by Milwaukee, acquired by the Expos in a trade in the offseason. He is a twin, and his brother's name, this guy's name is Oreste Vilato Marrero. His brother's name is Vilato Oreste Marrero, and he is still with Milwaukee, and the Expos aren't sure they have the right one. They're just kidding. They told me, a couple people told me that.
Well, you know what? Swinging at that first pitch, he'll probably get a little talking to by Philippe Ballou. You know how much he hates that, especially with young players. He wants you to go up there in your first at bat, take a few pitches, try and gauge the velocity of the pitcher, and he went right after that pitch, and it really wasn't a very good pitch to hit.
He was batting .313 at Harrisburg, recalled last night. This is Will Cordero, the shortstop, and he fouls one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tommy Green's come out with good stuff today. He gave up a run in the first inning. Made a careless pitch to Randy Reddy, and then some defensive lapses hurt him. There is Alou, fine manager of the Expos. They are 130 and 109 overall under Felipe Alou since he took over last year. After Montreal got off to a very slow start. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cordero. Fly ball right field, carrying pretty well, but Chamberlain has a beat on it, and West grabs it 2 down. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Kirk Reeder, who is 1 for 11. It was a 2-run hit his last time up, as he knocked in the only 2 RBIs in his career so far. He has 4 sacrifices, 5 strikeouts, and he bats him left.
Good fastball by Tommy Green, moving the ball in and out.
1 ball, 1 strike. And he misses wide to Reeder. Green hasn't walked anybody. He's struck out 2 thus far.
Reeder, a big guy at 6'3", 190, 95 pounds.
Drag bunts. Tommy Green still has time. Safe. Green hurried himself then. He had gotten to the ball and then did not come up with it, and then threw wide to Jordan. It looked like he pulled him off the bag, and that'll be an error on Green.
Green was a little bit surprised by it. He reached out, it just went off his webbing, and then, as you said, he picked it up and threw wide, pulled Jordan off the bag, and then Green, really upset with himself, went over, almost kicked the rosin bag. He knew he should have made that play.
Second error of the game for the Phillies. That was a good test for that groin, because he really had to stretch without thinking. He really had to extend to go after that bunt. So Randy Reddy, the batter now. And the pitch is over for a strike. Reddy led off the game with a double and scored the Expos run. Randy 2 for 4 last night as a first baseman, 1 for 1 today as a second baseman. The Shields on the shelf. He looks like he might get a chance to play. Stocker bobbles another one, and he's safe. Kevin Stocker, who has played so well since coming here, he's getting fooled a little bit maybe by the hops in the daytime, you know, in this hot turf, but still, I mean, he's really a good player, and he's just not handling the ground balls today, and that's another error on him.
Wow. That's a routine one too, and you're right. Maybe because of the daytime and the heat that is on the turf at this time makes the ball bounce a little bit higher.
Oh, it always does, but, you know, he's played on it before, so it's certainly no excuse, and that was a very close play at first. So 2 errors in the inning, 3 in the game for the Phillies. Have Green in trouble again, and one of the errors was Tommy's. See, Lansing reached on Stocker's other error.
Well, you know, Chris, this is sometimes a problem you see when you play a day game after a night game, and you don't really get a chance to go out and field some ground balls, take a little batting practice, get out there and get everything loosened up.
And it's very surprising to see Stocker misplay a couple balls. And Tommy Green throws strike 2 to Lansing. First error I think he made was because he peeked at the runner going to third. That one he just flat out misplayed the hop. Here's the 1-2 to Lansing. Struck him out on a good breaking ball. And Tommy Green pitches out of more trouble in the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. 1-0 Expos.
Bert sells balloons. Bob sells balloons. Bert sells wacky gifts. Bob sells wacky gifts. Bert delivers. Bob delivers. So if Bob's got everything Bert's got, why is Bert busy and Bob's not? Now, do you suppose Bert's got a big color ad in the book 9 out of 10 people use? The genuine New Jersey Belle Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families. For new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
Nothing is sacred. No one is safe. Heroes will fall. Legends will crumble. The truth will be told, at least until the season starts. It's the Great Sports Debates Fantastic Football Preview. 1 hour of pigskin madness from Angelo, Glenn, Jason, and Al, designed to tell you everything you need to know, more or less, about the Eagles and the rest of the NFL. The Great Sports Debate Fantastic Football Preview. It may not be the last word on football, but it's certainly the loudest.
It's the last business person special of the year. Wednesday, August 25th at 12:35. The Phillies play the Rockies, and all fans get a handsome poster featuring all the Phillies pitchers' compliments of Mellon PSFS. Call 463-1000 now.
These warm summer days watching a baseball game. What can you think of but warm days in Clearwater, Florida next year in the middle of winter? So come on down and join us for Dream Week. You'll stay right on the Gulf of Mexico, play baseball at the Phillies Carpenter Complex, and then at Jack Russell Stadium. Call 938-1200. The office is staffed at this very moment waiting for your call. 938-1200. We'll see you at Dream Week.
Pretty hard to pass up a week stay at a beautiful hotel on the Clearwater beaches in January, you know, and never mind the baseball part of it.
Yeah, that's just, you know, that's just kind of what you do in the daytime. Here is Incaviglia, Chamberlain, and Pratt to face Reeder. Speaking of the Carpenter Complex, had a nice phone call conversation with Mr. Carpenter himself this morning. Robert Ruliff Morgan Carpenter III, better known as Ruley,
Really?
your old boss.
Really?
Yeah,
how is he doing?
He's wonderful. He just called to, you know, tell us everything to do with the club and what to say and all. No, he's
and
fine.
What is he doing?
Nothing. He just enjoys life. Now, Ruley does have an office and runs a family business out of his office in Wilmington, and is still a great baseball fan, and is involved in amateur baseball and just loves watching the games and coming down here once in a while. And he just calls to say hi. Line drive to left and a base hit for Incaviglia off the changeup. He's busting for second, but Alou gets it back in, and he'll stay at first. Incaviglia very aggressive base running. If Alou had misplayed that ball at all, he would have been at second.
Well, this is what you don't want to do to a guy that's hot. Get a breaking ball up in the zone, especially a hanger. That pitch just hung out right out over the plate. Normally, Incaviglia on fastballs drives that ball out of the ballpark in right field. but it was so slow, he turned on it and kind of hit a little bit with overspin. Ended up with a single.
One thing Ruley did say today, he does not miss what's going on in Sheboygan, Wisconsin right now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The negotiations.
Yes.
The only thing he doesn't miss about the game. West at 279 with 9 homers, 28 runs batted in. Chamberlain hit a home run here in the last business person special we had against the St. Louis Cardinals. Hit it to right center off Donovan Osborne. Todd Pratt on deck. That was the second hit given up by Reeder. Chamberlain to deep center field. Grissom going way back. It is off the top of the wall. Here comes Incaviglia, and they'll hold him at third. That ball just missed being a 2-run homer, and it's second and third and nobody out on a blast by Chamberlain.
That was a blast. You didn't get that home run off Osborne out of your mouth fast enough. He just really tattooed this one. In fact, from our vantage point, it looked like it was going to be a home run. A low fastball. Chamberlain thought he had it. Grissom going back, got too close to it. You can see how close he is. The ball hits right off the top of the wall and bounces over his head. He's able to quickly recover, but they have to hold Incaviglia up.
Boy, is that close.
Wow.
Thought it was close, and then when you see the replay, hit right on the yellow line and came back. So Todd Pratt, the batter, the Expos have the infield back. Up at third a little bit is Lansing. Pitch to Pratt is over for a strike. Stocker on deck. Incaviglia, I think for a while, thought Grissom had a chance to catch that ball. So he was only able to get to third once it came off the wall and came right back to Marquise. Boa taking no chances with nobody out, didn't try to score him.
Well, when you're the base runner in that situation, as Pratt did not like that call by home plate umpire Joe West, you can't afford to get too far off if the ball is caught, because you're down by a run. So Incaviglia did the right thing, and Boa had to hold him.
No balls and 2 strikes on Todd Pratt. Comes inside again. They're pitching him inside. You mentioned this guy likes to do that, but Pratt has shown great power the other way. So teams are aware of the fact that he'll hit the ball out to right and right center and want to stay in on him a little more.
Well, you're right. That's where his power is, with those big arms and hands that he's got. He likes the ball up on over the plate.
And there he comes back in again and misses 2-2. Everything inside.
Right. The scouting report's out on Pratt. They know that as strong as this young kid is, he wants to extend with those arms, get the bat head out, and he looks for the ball from the middle of the plate away.
Low, so Pratt was in the hole, and now it's a full count.
Although I wouldn't hang a breaking ball to him inside.
Oh yeah, he can turn on the ball.
He might become, what, the 39th player to hit one in the upper deck here?
3 balls, 2 strikes to Todd. Fights off a ball on his hands, out of play. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for the Expos. No runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors for the Phillies. We're in the second inning.
By the way, those 3 errors on the year give the Phillies a total of 98 errors. Phillies are 10th.
Pratt really making Reeder work as Reeder's trying to get him out inside.
10th in the National League in errors made.
Have a profile of Todd Pratt coming up after the Expos bat in the 3rd inning. For you Todd Pratt fans, he is a very happy-go-lucky guy, very valuable guy on this ball club as Dalton's backup. Here's a 3-2. Good at that. He kept trying to jam and get him out inside. Pratt takes the walk. They're loaded with nobody out for Kevin Stocker.
And that was a good eye by Pratt, because Reeder got the call on the first fastball that Pratt did not think was a strike, and that pitch was very close as Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach for the Expos, goes out to have a little chat with him. So Pratt laid off that pitch because that was about 3 or 4 inches inside.
Philadelphia native Joe Kerrigan on the hill. Joe pitching professionally for Montreal and Baltimore. Went to Father Judge High School, pitched at Temple for Skippy Wilson.
By the way, Joe Jr. is at the game today, and his son playing in one of these great leagues here in the Philadelphia area. 8-2 as a pitcher.
So following right in his father's footsteps. Joe Jr. with a couple of no-hitters this summer.
Stocker the batter. They'll play the infield a double play down for Montreal. Stocker batting at .345 from the right side, .469. And Reeder will work from the stretch, and the pitch to Stocker is over for a strike. Gets a fastball over. Here's Jeff Shaw, the right-hander, getting up early. Stocker batting .366 in games here at Veterans Stadium. And he takes another fastball over. There is Alou, who plays a deep outfield, and Grissom just the opposite. It's always very shallow. Walker shallow and right. All three of them have great arms.
And the Expos in double plate depth. They've turned 106th on the year, 6th best in the National League.
Threw him 2 fastballs away for strikes and then came in with one. Stocker fouled it off. On deck is Tommy Green, a pretty good hitting pitcher. Phillies trying to tie the ball game, maybe even get more. They have the bases loaded and nobody out in the second. Kevin Stocker so far with runners in scoring position. He would like to make up for the 2 errors he's made early in this game. One of them contributed to the scoring. Well, you got it right on Reeder, how much he likes to pitch inside. Buzzed him in there after going away those first 2 pitches.
Especially against right-hand batters, because his fastball will run away, as we see. Cavilla, Chamberlain, and Pratt, the Phillies base runners, with nobody out.
Up, then he went away from him. Kevin has a bad at bat and strikes out. And for the first time in his young major league career, he hears some boos, and of course it won't be the last.
That's why Reeder likes to go inside, because he wants to get the Phillies hitters, or any hitters, thinking inside a little bit. Then he'll go away with a running fastball, and you see right there Stocker going out for a fastball, really not a strike.
And that was set up by the ball inside. There are the numbers on Green. Once again, the infield a double play depth for the Expos. Breaking ball. Tommy Green's going to say he's not going to throw that fastball to me, and I'm not going to take it. So he spins one to him, and he gets way out front.
Just a little bit out front on that.
This guy looks like he has a pretty good idea, Reeder.
There he got away with a fastball. I think he wanted that fastball a little bit more in. He caught a little bit of too much of the plate, but Green fouled it straight back. He can get away with those pitches.
Well,
the pitcher hitting.
Phillies have missed a 2-run home run in this inning by what, about 6 inches to a foot. And now they're scuffling here trying to get a run in. Bases loaded and 1 out.
Well, you know the Phillies, they never score runs till there's 2 outs.
Reeder, using both sides of the plate very effectively, misses away with a fastball. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Green didn't like it, but he's gone. So now there are 2 outs, and it's up to Dykstra.
Well, you can be your own judge on this, or umpire. Looked like he ran the fastball on the inside part of the plate, and it looked like it did catch the corner. Green tried to back away from it.
Good pitch. Green certainly would want that one called for him.
Sure.
Dykstra lined to left his first time, up a little loop for a sliding catch by Alou. And Reeder trying to see his way out of this. And 3 straight hitters with the bases loaded and nobody out. He starts them with strike 1.
pitch that was. Even if you're looking for that pitch, it's a tough pitch to hit. At the count 0-1, he threw that one and he painted the outside corner just above the knees.
He has it over 200 now with runners in scoring position. That's the one thing in his offense this year probably would tell you he hasn't been satisfied with, but he still will knock in big runs. Now he's buried in the count 0-2 to this left-hander who comes inside and just missed. Reeder jumped up in the air, and Joe West takes off the mask and stares at the rookie. Now there's Joe West trying to show that kid, I'll show you who's in charge, young man. And now they're getting on West from the dugout, and they should get on him.
You know, and that's uncalled for by the umpire.
You bet it was uncalled for.
That's uncalled for. You don't need to antagonize anybody. Umpires are to be out here to call the game and not to be seen.
You know, the kid had a close pitch, and we wanted it, and he showed a little emotion, and Joe overreacted.
That's just a bush play by Joe West.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Unfortunate. It's a joke the way some of these umpires are, and they ruin it for the rest of the good umpires.
That missed outside. You know,
this
pitcher
game
wasn't
is
trying to show him up.
This game is built on emotion. I mean, you know, the kid thought he made a good pitch, and he said, you know, what are you going to do? You know, if you want to say something as umpire, you say something to the catcher and let the catcher tell him in the dugout.
Here we go, 2-2 to Lenny. Swing and a miss, struck him out on a breaking ball. What a job by Reeder. Strikes out the side with the bases loaded and nobody out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and they leave them loaded. 1-0 Expos after 2.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. It's called taking your lumps. Cash 5. All the cash all at once. When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. It's a lot, but you can handle it. Cash 5. All the cash all at once.
The home stretch is here, and the Phillies feast on the Mets live from the Vet Saturday night at 7, exclusively on Prism, the home game home of the Phillies.
It's a really good-looking Phillies road jersey, free for kids 14 and under, compliments of Gatorade, when the Phillies play the Mets Sunday, August 15th at 1:35. Get a free new jersey when the Phillies play New York. Call 463-1000.
And on Sunday, August the 15th, that's this Sunday coming up. The Mets are in town, and it'll be a brand new gift for kids 14 and under, a gray shirt. It looks just like the Phillies road jersey, including the logo and Phillies red. Compliments of Gatorade. It is a must for all kids. Call 463-1000. Stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS, Broad and Chestnut Streets. It's not going to rain here today. Those kids are just staying out of the sunshine, and it is a bright, sunny day. And Marquise Grissom will lead it off, followed by Larry Walker and then Moises Alou. And now Grissom wants another bat. Joe West checks him out. Grissom had a light-colored bat, headed back to the dugout, and then all of a sudden somebody tossed him a dark one out of there.
Well, you know, he started off this series with a bang. He got a hit in his first at bat at the first game, and since then he's been hitless. There's a guy that's got it all right there on his shirt.
Got it figured out.
Yep.
Grissom grounded, or had a fielder's choice his first time up. He hit the ball to Hollins that he threw to the plate late, and the Expos scored a run. Grissom got an RBI.
This is the guy that really normally kills the Phillies.
Marquise this year coming in at 265 against him, but he has had some good years against the Phillies. Now it's 3-0. Phillies had a chance to really change the momentum in the game with the bases loaded, nobody out in the second, didn't score. And now the Expos come up 3-0, and it's over for a strike. Grissom high in the air, left center field. Dykstra says he has it, and does. One away. I think he might have just pulled off that one a little bit.
Just a little bit. You might want to check. You might want to check with Gary Mannix when he comes on, Chris, about the difference in catching fly balls dead center field at night games, all of a sudden in this bright daylight, because it is awful bright out here today.
Yeah, a few clouds overhead.
You know, you can imagine all these multicolored shirts that the ball is not easy to pick up off the bat.
And Green goes 1-1 on Larry Walker, who struck out his first time up. There you see the heat shimmering off the turf.
Oh, what a great shot by our camera guys. Looked like they were in a sea of water out there.
Only 80 degrees at game time, but yeah, the sun had just come out at that point, and now it's really starting to heat up. Tommy Green had a long first inning, so he's at 50 pitches already here in the third. And we'll watch for any signs of fatigue from him today. 3-1. He walks him. That is the first walk issued by Green. Expos with a one-out base runner in the third for Alou. He flied out foul to Pete Incaviglia in left field his first time up. Inside corner for a strike. Alou batting at .282. Fine season for him. 15 homers, 72 runs batted in. They both represent career highs for him. Last year he had 9 and 56. He's gone well past those figures. Well, he's playing him as a pull hitter. You see the base runner Walker leading off. He can run. Another breaking ball. It's 1-1. Expos lead the league in steals by plenty. See Alou looking to recognize that pitch and then just buckling at the last second.
Sure he gets his head out of the way. He's only 27 years old, so really he's just starting to reach his maturity as a major league hitter. All his best years are still in front of him.
There goes Walker, swinging a miss at a breaking ball. Pratt throws high, and Larry Walker steals his 20th base of the year. Walker, for a big guy, can really run.
I was going to say, he got a great jump on that because Pratt got rid of the ball quickly, but he had it stolen easily.
So he's in scoring position for Alou, and the count is 1-2 on Moises. Here's his percentage. Hanging breaking ball, and Alou makes him pay for it. Walker will score. It's 2-0. On his way to second is Alou. He will have a double and a run batted in. His 73rd of the year.
Well, that's one guy you don't want to hang a breaking ball to. He's really been hitting the heck out of the ball. You can see the ball was up in his strike zone just above the letters. He just went all over it.
So this big crowd who was roaring in the bottom of the second inning when the Phillies had him loaded is now quiet as the Expos have put another run on the board. And here's Darren Fletcher, a strikeout victim in the first inning. High in the air to right, Chamberlain there. Wes grabs it. Alou fakes, heading for third. Will stay at second base. 2 down. And that'll bring up Oreste Marrero in his second major league at bat.
Look at that, 24 doubles, 73 RBIs.
His doubles also a career high. Marrero, a native of Puerto Rico, grounded out on the first pitch he saw in the first inning, hit it to the second baseman. He now makes his home in Rio Piedras, born in Bayamon. Breaking ball and a good one for a strike. He will be 27 on September 29th. He's kicked around in the Milwaukee organization for a number of years, originally signed in '86. There are the numbers on Marrero playing at Harrisburg. They have a terrific team there due to the Montreal Ball Club. Playing in that Eastern League. A lot of their fine prospects have been playing there this year. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moises Alou leads off second base with 2 outs. We are in the 3rd inning. 2-0 Expos. Lazy, hazy summer afternoon here at the ballpark as we head into mid-August. Game number 115 for the Phillies today, coming into play with a 7-game lead over the Cardinals.
30 games over 500.
30 over 500 for the second time.
Who would have ever thunk that?
On August 12th, huh? 72 and 42.
Back in spring training?
Well, nobody. Outside. You thought this club had a chance to compete this year. I think everybody felt that in the division they had a chance to, you know, be competitive. Ball club be in the race this year. 30 over 500, middle of August. No.
All you got to do is go down on that bench.
Been a great year for Jim Fergosi and his ball club, and still a long way to go. Yep. There's his record overall in his 3rd season as a Phillies manager. This ball's hit well in left field. It Cordelia going away back. It's off the top of the wall and in play. Alou will score, and Marrero has his first major league hit, a double off the wall in left field, and they'll toss that ball out. There it goes over to Jerry Manuel. He almost hit a 2-run homer. Green's made a couple of careless pitches in this inning.
He has.
He's paid for it.
Against the young rookie, he makes him another mistake pitch. Ball was up in the strike zone, out over the plate. Marrero just went with it. Dykstra's got to hustle over and back up in Cordelia, get the ball back in.
And there is the baseball that will be given to Marrero.
And somebody will write the date on it. Tommy Green's name on it.
Okay, who was your first major league hit off?
Gary Bell. And you know who wrote it? First base hit, Gary Bell, Jim Fergosi.
Is that right?
Yep.
They're going to walk Cordero here in the 3rd inning. And pitch to Reeder. Fergosi doesn't walk a whole lot of 8-hitters, but this one's already 3-0 and doesn't like the way things are going. Doesn't want to give up a cheap one here with 2 outs, so he decides to walk Cordero. I think his feeling probably is that Tommy Green's making bad pitches and he can't count on him to get that 8-hole hitter out right now. You see the writing going on the baseball at that very moment. So an intentional walk, 2nd walk of the ball game issued by Green, both of them in this inning. Here's the guy who wrote on that first major league hit of Jay Johnston's. What did he write? Get a couple more or something?
No, I just wrote he wrote the California Angels versus the Cleveland Indians. Gary Bell, a pitcher, the date, first major league base hit, single to right.
I can't believe any major league player would not remember who he got that first hit off. And now he goes 2-0 on the pitcher. fishing right now. He knows that he has the pitcher up there. They just walked the 8-hole hitter, and he's thrown 3 balls way out of the strike zone. And he throws a foot. I mean, those weren't even close. So Tommy Green has him loaded. You're talking about overthrowing. And they're loaded for Randy Reddy. Mike Williams starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. He's now the long man, especially since De Leon is gone. Reddy led off the game with a double, scored a run, and has been on an error by Stocker. Big spot in this game for Tommy Green, and he throws a breaking ball over first strike.
Well, if you can't get the fastball over, you better go to the next best pitch.
That's something. Throws 4 pitches, not even close to the pitcher, and then comes out and paints with Randy Reddy on 2 pitches.
Oh, Pratt, for somebody, changed the signs. 2 breaking pitches, both of them strikes now. Let's see if he goes back to the fastball.
Reddy just got a piece of that and spoiled it. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Reddy, who has spent this year at Rochester, where he batted .289 for the Red Wings, the AAA club of the Baltimore Orioles. Came over here the other day in a deal with Rochester.
I think Green right here would go back to the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate.
And Reddy tires of waiting, steps out. Breaking ball, and Reddy lofts it to left. Back goes Stocker, and Kevin makes the play. So Green dodges another bullet here in the 3rd inning, even though he gives up 2 runs. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. There are your totals. Time now for this afternoon's Phillies profile, as Larry Rosen visits one of the season's more pleasant surprises, Todd Pratt.
He is one of the truly quiet warriors of the first-place Phillies, and on a winner, the play of role players cannot be undervalued. At 26, Todd Pratt has finally gotten a chance to be a major league catcher. The victim of injuries and the lack of instruction while a member of the Boston Red Sox farm system, Pratt arrived in Philadelphia with a reputation as a good hit, no-field catcher. 3 times a week, he and Coach Mike Ryan sweat bullets, working on Pratt, the receiver, with obvious results. And the offense has been as advertised. Pratt can flat out hit. But how hard is it to be a virtual caddy behind the highest paid catcher in baseball?
Obviously, it's not my choice, but I mean, I think I'd always rather be in first place. I'm going to get my chance to play every day 1 year. You know, I'm still young. We're getting to that age where I'm about to get in my prime age to start every day. So, I mean, I'm a couple years more here back in daring up, and I'll be ready. I mean, he really didn't have his good year until he was 30, so, I mean, that's 4 years away from me. So, you know, imagine what I'm doing now and what I can do.
Business Person Special number 5, the final one of the year, will be on Wednesday the 25th at 12:35. Phillies, the Colorado Rockies. All fans receive a Pride of the Phillies poster featuring the Phillies pitching staff, compliments of Mellon PSFS. It'll be your last chance this year to see the expansion, Rockies at the Vet. So call 463-1000 or stop by the Vet Stadium ticket office and get your tickets. As usual, the fanatic entertaining the crowd here is We Are in Business Person Special number 4 here this afternoon. Birthday wishes to Marge Cassidy, wife of longtime Phil's employee Pat Cassidy. Pat's under the weather right now, and we wish him a speedy recovery. He's at Methodist Hospital, so happy birthday to Marge. And Pat, hope you're feeling better real soon. Come down and see us.
Well, Phillies need to get something going here. Down by 3 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd.
Duncan leads it off. Mariano got a base hit his first time up. His hitting streak now at 10. Expos lead at 3-0 here in the 3rd inning. Hits are even, but the Phillies have made some misplays today, and also some walks have hurt them.
Happy birthday to Jackie Albright from Lansdale, Bill Reber, Jeannie McGee. Great changeup there.
Reeder throwing fastball in and out, changeup and breaking ball, and throwing the ball well this afternoon. See him way out in front on this changeup. That had a big boost for him to get out of that jam in the second. Sure, comes back inside again. Reeder, a very, very quick worker.
You know, a lot of times when you have a quick worker on the mound, such as Reeder, you throw off the batter's timing because the hitter likes to get in there and take his time and make some adjustments and get ready, maybe gauge the tempo of your motion. All of a sudden, you're already in your windup. It really throws him off.
And he walks him. So Reeder walks the leadoff man, Mariano Duncan, a guy on a team who walks a lot. This certainly is not one of the guys who walks a lot. Duncan, Phillies as a ball club get a lot of walks, but not Mariano.
No, only 9 on the year. This is his 10th. What does he have? How many at bats does he have?
342, 343.
No, he's Mariano's known as one of those Bible hitters. You know, thou shalt not pass.
Here's the pitch to Ricky Jordan over for a strike. Ricky walked his first time up. He thought that might have been a little outside.
Jeannie McGee, 82 years old. It's her birthday. She used to be a pitcher in the 20s for Tuckerton High. Tuckerton High. Wow. Happy birthday, Jeannie McGee. 82 and a former pitcher back at Tuckerton.
So Reeder threw a little step-off move over there on Duncan. Jordan, a line drive, base hit, right center. Duncan, good base running. The ball kicks away from Grissom. He's going to score, and Jordan winds up at second. Marquise Grissom was trying to hurry on that play to cut it off, and he fumbled it. And Duncan was running hard on the play, came all the way around, and it's a 3-1 game now.
Well, that's another problem that has plagued the Expos all years. They're 13th in the National League in defense. This ball just kicked off the heel of his glove. It's the 116th error on the year for the Expos. The only team worse in errors is Colorado with 127. So Felipe Alou's defensive team has kind of let him down this year.
That's a single, an error on Grissom, and no RBI for Jordan. And Dave Hollins, the batter. Low and inside, ball 1. Hollins grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up.
Well, Jordan really attacked that ball, didn't he? He went right after it.
That is Ricky Jordan's style of hitting. Breaking ball misses, 2-0. Well, the Phillies are on the board, and for the 131st consecutive game, a modern National League record for the Phillies, they will not be shut out. They're the only team in the league not to have been shut out this year. Low, ball 3.
About the only way the Phillies are going to get shut out this year if there's a dense fog. And they got a guy throwing about 90. There's Larry Boa. Hollins looks down. 3-0. Will he take?
Yes. Joe West says on the outside corner. The 130-game streak by the Phillies is the longest in baseball since the 86-87 Cardinals won 145 games without being shut out. As you see Shaw throwing again. Hollins was looking for something else, then had a late swing, 3-0. 3-1, and now it's 3-2.
After that 86-87 Cardinals, then it drops way down somewhere, isn't it? I bet it too many teams that have gone that long without being shut out.
Modern National League records 150 by the Pirates. Oh, the overall record 308 by the Yankees. Good eye by Hollins and walks.
That was what, right back in the 20s or something? Hollins got a great pitch there and very tough to lay off with the count 3-2. Watch the location on this one. A slider coming in. It looked like it started out as a strike, but Hollins on the year with 56 walks does a great job of taking that pitch.
And Duncan, the guy who doesn't walk much, got the inning started by walking. That is walk number 4 for Reeder. came into the game with 6 walks and 12 strikeouts. Today he has 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. And Cavilla has a base hit in the ballgame. Change up and a swing and a miss. Well, he swung first ball, fastball, and got that combio and was way out front.
He went on the motion, and what a great changeup it was. He turned it over. You can see how far Cavilla is out in front. And the reason why the changeup was so effective is because the hitters see the arm motion. It looks just like the fastball, but the changeup is about 20 miles slower.
And the bat speed stays the same.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing Cavilla's been on a home run RBI tear in the last 12 games. One thing for Reeder, even though he's wild, he has a lot of different pitches. And he throws them for strikes so far when he's had to. See what he can do in this inning as the Phillies are making a run at him again. Last inning, when he got in trouble, he threw a lot of strikes.
He went back to that outside corner at the knees and just missed. That was a pretty good try there. That's a tough pitch to hit for anybody.
Chamberlain on deck. West just missed a home run his last time up. Base hit center field. Jordan got a good jump, and Bo is waving him around. Grissom slows going to third for Hollins, and he is safe. 3-2 ball game. Some good base running by the Phillies, and they're back to within 1.
Excellent base running by Hollins. Even though Jordan got a great jump, you knew Blow was going to score him, but it was questionable. As you see in Cavilla, who has a very hot bat now. Grissom with a very good throw, but watch Hollins. Blow waving him all the way, giving him the slide, and Hollins goes in with a head-first slide, and he just gets his left hand on the base.
And Felipe Alou is going to make a move. He just waved to the bullpen, so it looks like Reeder, the left-hander, will be gone after just 2+ innings. After pitching a complete game his last time out and pitching out of a bases-loaded jam in the second inning, he gets nobody out in the third. Phillies are back to 3-2. Reeder is gone, and we'll pause for this.
I think I can get in 72 hours.
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. Ask for budget smart rates for great prices on cars that won't crash your style, all with unlimited mileage. The smart money is on budget.
There are lots of ways to have fun at a baseball game besides the game. Now, the games. The Phillies give Colorado a Rocky Mountain Low Monday, August 23rd and Tuesday the 24th at 7:35. And Wednesday the 25th at 12:35 in a business person special. Then Cincinnati turns red Friday, August 27th at 7:35, Saturday the 28th at 7:05, and Sunday the 29th at 1:35 when kids get a baseball jacket free. Call 463-1000.
Our next Prism game will be on Saturday at 7 o'clock with the ball game. Larry Rosen will have the pregame show at 6:30. Bobby Bonilla, Dallas Green, and the rest of those New York Mets will be here to play the Phils over the weekend. So be sure and tune in and see us if you can't make it down here to the ballpark. New pitcher is the right-hander Jeff Shaw. There are the numbers on Shaw, formerly in the Cleveland Indians organization. Shaw they used as a starter this year earlier. He will be coming into game number 39. He had 8 starts, one of them against the Phillies. The Phillies beat him 10-3 behind Terry Mulholland at Montreal on June the 14th in a starting role. Kruk, Eisenreich, and Alou for the Expos homering in that ball game. So Jeff Shaw, a sinker slider type pitcher, will come on. He is 6'2", 185-pounder, 27 years of age, from Washington Courthouse, Ohio.
He's been working on a good curveball that Joe Kerrigan and the pitching coach has taught him. It's a rolling type curveball. But the problem he's had with that pitch is even though when he's on, it's good, he also hangs it a lot. It's got him in a lot of trouble.
So Alou makes a change for Chamberlain, who almost had a home run off Reeder his last time out. Phillies with runners at the corners, nobody out and 2 runs in. They trail at 3-2 in the 3rd inning. There's that breaking ball. He swings and misses. The crowd was very, very quiet the way things were going, and now all of a sudden they're really into it. There's Hollins at 3rd. And Cavillo on a 2-for-2 ball game at 1st. Chamberlain, ground ball to short. They'll go to second for 1, back to first. He beats it. Gets an RBI. And the Phillies tie the ball game on Wes Chamberlain's fielder's choice. It's 3-3.
Boy, you can tell this is a championship-bound team. Everybody hustles on this team. Chamberlain with a diving head-first slide to make sure the double play is not completed. As Incaviglia also goes into second hard. But look at the hustle by Chamberlain at first base.
Incaviglia tries to get a little piece of Randy Ready to make it tougher here.
Yes. That's what this team, that's why championship teams and what they're made of. Everybody does their job. Everybody plays hard.
Phillies with a 3-run 3rd inning have tied the game, and Todd Pratt's the batter. Phillies with a predominantly right-handed batting lineup today because of the left-hander Reeder starting. So Alou goes to a right-handed pitcher in Jeff Shaw. Phillies have a pretty good bench today if they need it. Pratt takes it over. They have Eisenreich, Thompson, Morandini, Dalton, and Kruk on the bench. Not bad if they need help late in this game. There's the bench. Ricky Jordan and Pete Incaviglia right in the middle of this inning, and Dave Hollins. Pratt fouls it away. Todd walked in the 2nd inning. The time his walk loaded him up. There is Kruk on the bench. That's Bobby Thigpen right there sitting next to him, the newly acquired reliever. They threw him on the side this morning. Fregosi has indicated he wouldn't use him probably until tomorrow unless you got into a game where you just needed a lot of pitchers. And that hit him or the batter. It looked like he swung at it.
He started to swing, but it hit him.
And Frank Pulley's saying he swung at it because he did start to swing at it. He's going to be a strikeout victim on this after getting hit by a pitch. You hardly ever see this. But it looked like he swung at it. Now Fregosi wants to know, he wants to see how Pratt is first. Pulley comes in and tells West, you know, he went through the movement that he had swung at it. And now Fregosi wants an explanation from Joe West.
Let's see it right here. The pitch is a running fastball inside. He starts to swing.
That's a tough call, yeah. I mean,
he did come around with the bat over the plate, and once the bat breaks the plane of the plate, it's a strike.
Yeah, and it's strike 3. Now Fregosi's going to go talk to Pulley about it because Joe West asked for help. And now here comes Frank. Yep, and he told Jim Fregosi what he said. He said he swung at the pitch, and he called it a strike, and he is a strikeout. And there's 2 outs. That's one of the 1 out. That's one of the 2 outs. That's one of the darndest strikeouts you're ever going to see.
The only other time I ever saw that happen was Richie Hebner off Phil Necro.
Well, that was good coordination by the home plate umpire and the first base umpire. Whether you agree with it or not.
Well, it was a good call because as Pratt tried to get out of the way, he could not hold up his swing. The bat did cross the plane of the plate, and it becomes a strike.
So now there are 2 outs. Wes Chamberlain on at first base, and Kevin Stocker, the batter, who struck out his first time up.
Oh, I haven't seen that happen in a long time. Have you?
Yeah, and the guy gets drilled out of it, too. Not only does he swing, but he gets hit. Stocker with a high chopper to Marrero, the first baseman. He steps on the bag. And that'll do it for the Phillies here in the 3rd inning, but they tie the game. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We are through 3, tied at 3.
Deep inside, dedication and a real sense
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new Superpower.
The Phillies will be loaded for bear when they play Sandberg and the Cubs Monday, September 6th at 7:05. And Tuesday through Thursday, September 7th, 8th, and 9th, all at 7:35. Then they'll try to send the Astros into space Friday, September 10th at 7:35. Saturday the 11th at 7:05. And Sunday the 12th at 1:35 when kids 14 and under get a free backpack. Call 463-1000.
And back here at Veterans Stadium on this gorgeous afternoon for baseball, Gary Maddox joined us. You ever swing at a pitch and get hit?
No, that's a new one for me. I swung at pitches in a lot of areas, but never swing at one and get hit like that. It really means you're not waiting to see the ball. You can tell you're almost committed as soon as the pitcher releases the ball. And that's the first for me, Chris.
Yeah, that has to be a pretty bad feeling when that happens to you.
I mean, we saw another first almost. Remember when he went on the disabled list for taking a swing and turning his ankle or something?
In a business person special.
Oh, well, that's it right there.
Hard ground ball and a base hit to left field for Lansing leading off the inning. Mike Lansing has a base hit, so the Phillies have gotten Tommy Green even, but the leadoff man is on again.
But, you know, the Phillies came back in that inning, and still doesn't take away from the fact that Tommy Green is struggling out there. There's a base hit right through the left side of the infield. Tommy Green struggled last inning and has come out and showed indications of getting the ball up again and not having the good zip that he had in the first inning on that fastball.
Yeah, he's showing the signs of a guy who hasn't pitched for a while. There goes Lansing. Pratt's throw is not in time. Quick tag by Stocker, and Gary Darling says safe.
That's
so
a tough
stolen base by Lansing.
That's a tough play for an umpire because he's got to be able to judge whether the hand gets in there or the tag up around the legs happens first. Yeah, looked like he was in there. It's such a tough angle. We got a better angle here than the umpire has, who's facing it the other way. It looked like he might have had him, Chris.
Really close.
But see, the umpire can't tell from that position.
Yep. Grissom loops one to left. Long run for Incavillion. Stocker, and Inky runs it down. Flips the second. And Duncan grabs it one away. And Incavillion is Mr. Excitement.
I tell you, how about the play he made in the first game of the series? Flipped one like that and got Moises Alou in between second and first. Incavillion flipped down those sunglasses and then came flying in. Kevin Stocker out of his way tries to flip back to second base, but that's not in time.
He'll surprise you sometime how well he moves. Incavillion is one of those big guys that once he gets rolling, he runs pretty well.
I had a chance to see him when he was with Houston play left field. I admit I didn't see much of him, but I didn't think much of his defensive capabilities. I watched how hard he worked in spring, and I'm really one that's surprised at how good a left fielder he is.
Walker, the batter, a good block of the ball in the dirt and catch by Pratt.
One thing you don't, here's a ball in the dirt here. You don't usually want to backhand those, but as long as you get the job done. Stayed down on it.
Yeah, that wasn't textbook.
But one thing about Incavillion, you don't have to worry about a lack of hustle. Regardless of the results, he's going to hustle.
Tommy Green better take a look at Lansing back there. He had a huge lead, looked like he might run. 75 pitches for Tommy Green already here in the fourth inning. The bullpen has been up once already. There is Lansing with that big lead at second. And now Green does take a look back at him. And Walker tops one foul first base side. Walker has struck out, walked, stolen a base, and scored a run.
Walker's a good hitter, but he really appears to be feeling for the ball right now up at the plate. And what hitters will try and do, again, we mentioned, if a guy's throwing hard, you don't want to try and swing hard to catch up with that fastball. And you don't want to slow down your swing. What you want to do is shorten it and wait on the ball. And that's what Walker needs to do. He seems to just be trying to easily swing through it and place the ball. Let it fly.
Yeah, this guy's a ripper, too. He's got great power. Quick move to second, and back in time is Lansing. They finally threw a move on him back there after he was getting that big lead. That stolen base for Lansing is 15th. as the Expos have a team up and down their lineup that likes to run.
And it's not because Pratt is in there. This Expo team will run. There's Tommy Green, a quick turn. Good throw would have made it more exciting, but, you know, he would appear to be back.
Walker off the end of the bat. This ball's playable. Here comes Incaviglia again. He runs Stocker off. 2 down. Incaviglia and Stocker kind of remind me of Lazinski and Boa when they played out there. And Boa wanted to get out of the way as fast as possible.
I think Stocker does too. There's Incaviglia calling all the way. You got to imagine that ball. It's hit up high, but when you flip those sunglasses, it's dark. And all you're seeing is a dark dot coming down out of the sky. So your depth perception is a little bit off. So when you have to make those plays on a run, you know, you can get there, and if your depth perception is off enough, you know, you'll think the ball's in your glove and it hasn't quite gotten there. You'll close it too soon and oops. You got it.
Alou, and they start him with a breaking ball. They really changed to Alou a little bit today. He's been hurting him with fastballs. Last time up, he did hit a breaking ball later on in the count for a base hit and knocked in a run. Incaviglia's had 3 of them today where he's really had to run a long way to catch him. Good fastball there, but missed. 1-1.
That was a good fastball. Tried to get it on the corner. You see him hump up to certain hitters, reach back a little bit and try and throw occasional hard fastball.
Yeah, he had some zip on that pitch. 2 outs and Lansing leading off second base. 3-3 in the 4th inning. Alou hits another one to left. This is a fair ball. It'll go to the corner and score a run. And Moises Alou has another double, another run batted in. He has had some series. 4-3 Expos lead it again.
I don't care where the pitch is, you still have to hit it in order to get your base hits. But it makes it easier on a hitter if he's going to throw that breaking ball and leave it up in the strike zone. Look at it right there for him to hit. It's not the snapping breaking ball that we're accustomed to seeing from Tommy Green. And to me, that indicates maybe some arm fatigue or just not having the conditioning after coming back from a layoff such as he had.
That's 2 straight hanging breaking balls that Alou has hit for doubles. And Alou on the year now with 74 runs batted in and 25 doubles. Fletcher 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out, and the Phillies are going to get the pen up again. And Mike Williams starts throwing for the 2nd time in the game. Tommy Green is due to lead off the 4th inning, so this might be it for him. Popped him up, foul out of play to the crowd behind home plate. Some guy down below went after that ball the way you just talked about, that dark dot, and he didn't see it, and almost got him.
We're still looking for it. There it is.
Sam in the back of our booth just stopped by and waved. What a great name in Philadelphia broadcasting. Fletcher jammed, pops it foul out of play. Nice to see Sammy here at the ball game.
I saw him for a number of years, lived right down the street from him.
He's over there on Hagees Ford Road for a long time.
Yeah, I used to exactly. I lived right off of there. I used to drop by on him, chat a while, ask him what was going on. He knew everything in the neighborhood.
He's a character. Breaking ball, and Fletcher goes down on strikes in the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 out. There's your score after 3.5.
There are lots of ways to have fun at a baseball game besides the game. Now, the games. The Phillies give Colorado a Rocky Mountain Low Monday, August 23rd, and Tuesday the 24th at 7:35, and Wednesday the 25th at 12:35 in a business person special. Then Cincinnati turns red Friday, August 27th at 7:35, Saturday the 28th at 7:05, and Sunday the 29th at 1:35 when kids get a baseball jacket free. Call 463-1000.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Now, the Pennsylvania Lottery has 2 drawings every week for the Cash 5 lump sum jackpot. So every week,
I want to go this way.
2 people can hit Cash 5. All the cash, all at once. When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. It's a lot, but you can handle it. Cash 5. All the cash, all at once.
And back here at Veterans Stadium, as we thought, Tommy Green will be finished after 4 today. Threw around 80 pitches. We'll get the exact number for you. Mickey Morandini, one of the 5 left-handed hitters that Jim Fregosi has on the bench today, will come out and bat for Green. So Green cannot win the ball game. He could lose it, and he threw 84 pitches through 4 innings, and he showed the rustiness after a couple of weeks of inactivity.
A little rusty, a little fatigue. It's only natural. And I have yet to see a pitcher or player, for that fact, stay on the disabled list the amount of time he should to fully recover. You know, everybody is going to tough it out and say they're ready and get back as quickly as possible, as opposed to taking the extra time. We saw it happen to Dave Hollins.
Well, Shaw looks like he's going to pitch from the stretch. Even though there's nobody on base, he has been both a starter and a reliever, but yes, he will pitch from the stretch as Morandini leads off. Here in the 4th, Shaw came on for Reeder last inning.
I thought that was a surprise move, taking Reeder out of there that early in the ball game.
He was going for early damage control. Phillies with a lot of right-handed hitters in their lineup, and Shaw made Alou look good as he got out of the inning. Gave up really not a run on his run. He gave up an infield out, which scored the tying run. Two balls, 1 strike to Morandini, who played one of the games in Florida the other day, or in Atlanta. But Duncan has been playing regular second base, as Mickey's been struggling offensively. And they just haven't been playing it very much. 3 balls and 1 strike on him, trying to get on for Dykstra, who follows, and then Duncan. He walked him. Walk number 1 issued by Shaw, number 5 by Montreal pitching. And Dykstra, the batter. Lenny lined out to Alou his first time up, then struck out with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 2nd. That Reeder is gone, Gary, but in the 2nd inning when he had to, he made some nasty pitches.
I tell you, that's why I'm thinking you got to let the guy pitch a little bit. You can come in there and strike out Lenny Dykstra like that.
Dykstra, a high chopper over the glove of Marrero, down the line. Morandini to second, Dykstra to third, Dykstra to second with a double, and the Phillies are in business on a walk and a turf day hit. That big hop in the daytime.
You know, a pitcher pitching to Lenny Dykstra has to think he's going to take that first pitch. He gets a fastball and pulls it just over the head of the first baseman and down the line. Morandini got kind of confused. He thought maybe the first baseman had made the play, but it was not the case. Marrero looked like he just mistimed his leap a little bit, but the ball was out there quickly.
Oh, he got fooled with the AstroTurf bounce, no doubt about it. Lenny Dykstra now with 34 doubles, tying him for first in the league with Dante Bichette of Colorado. Duncan is 1 for 1 in the game with a single, a walk, a run scored, and Mariano is now hit in 10 straight. Infield back, with the exception of Marrero, who's up at first base. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Duncan likes to go after that first pitch, especially in RBI situations, so they throw him a slider. Good base runners. Morandini at third and Dykstra on at second base.
Dykstra is looking out at Larry Boyd to see if he'll be going on contact, seeing if Morandini will be leaving from third on contact.
Nobody out. Duncan this year off Shaw is 1 for 4. Shaw pitched 1 inning here in the first game of the series on Tuesday night. 2 hits and an earned run off him.
I say he's going on contact.
Even with nobody out?
Even with nobody out.
Okay. Jeff Shaw, the right-hander, working from the stretch at all times. Ricky Jordan is on deck. Grounded up the middle. Phillies will get a run out of this. They tie the game, and over to third goes Lonnie Dykstra as Mariano Duncan gets it done, moving the base runners along. There's 1 out, but it's a 4-4 game.
Picking up a base hit in the, an RBI in the process.
His 49th.
Good job by Duncan. The ball hit on the ground with the infield back, so they're conceding a run. The Phillies, seeing that, also sent Dykstra and Morandini on contact.
Ricky Jordan getting a chance to play today. Ricky 1 for 1, a walk, a single, and a run scored. There are your totals.
Now they bring the infield in to try and get someone killed. Just a sacrifice.
As hard as Ricky Jordan hits those balls.
We pull off one in them.
Hey, look how close Cordero is. He's up closer than any of them, the shortstop. Swinging a foul tip held on to by Fletcher. 1-1. The on-deck batter's Hollins.
Ted Sizemore tells a story about him playing in close when Tony Perez was hitting one time and what happened to him.
Yeah, he got injured.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fun to play the infield in on turf, that's for sure. Hard shot right at Cordero. And he throws out Jordan. He hit it right on the nose and right at the shortstop. That's the second out of the inning. Dykstra remains at third, and here comes Hollins.
See, the key to that was it was hit low to the ground. If it's one of those with backspin that comes up right in front of the infielder, it's a whole new story.
Speaking of Tony Perez, you see where Nolan Ryan got another father-son combination? Struck out his son Eduardo the other night, and he'd gotten Tony a few times, so forget how many it is. I think it's like 8 of them.
8 father-son.
8 father-son combinations.
Be interested in how many father-son combinations Dong did.
Probably, well, yeah, that would be it. He doesn't throw a lot of homers.
No.
8 I think it was. That's a great trivia question. You can add another one to it now. Tony and Eduardo Perez. Hollins with a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies trailed 3-0 in this game. They got back to 3-3. They were down 4-3. It's now 4-4. 2 outs and a man on third for Dave Hollins, who's been knocking in a lot of runs.
He has to be patient in this situation. There is a base open. He's a left-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher, so they're going to try and get him. They're going to tempt him with something out of the strike zone and maybe think about Incaviglia.
And they tempted him with a breaking ball. Lenny Dykstra down at third base with 106 runs. He'd like to make it 107.
You think?
He'd like to make it 177. He has got that on his mind right now about scoring runs this year, and there's no telling by the end of the season how many he's going to get at the pace he's on.
And, you know, and that's a great goal to have for an individual because you're helping the team. See how many runs you can score. Not the base hits, not the home runs, but hey, winning is about scoring runs.
3 balls and 2 strikes now on Hollins. They are your run leaders in the National League. Those are 2 pups out of the same litter over there, Dykstra and Boa. There's some orneriness in that area. Hollins tries to check, did he? It's ball 4. They're going to ask Kerwin Danley at third, and Danley agrees. He did not swing at it, so Hollins walks, and here comes Incaviglia.
Now, Fletcher knows it's tough to make an argument for a called strike when you don't even catch the ball. So he held up. I think probably in a situation where he was trying to be aggressive, wanted to get a base hit or have something close he could swing at, but checked on a pitch out of the strike zone.
And a mound conference. Randy Reddy, Darren Fletcher, and the pitcher Jeff Shaw. For Incaviglia, who's 2 for 2, 2 singles and an RBI. Inky's 70th run batted in on the year. He has 20 homers. Ball game here in the 4th inning. Incaviglia fouls it off into the upper deck off to the right side. Pete off Shaw this year is 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in, a strikeout and a hit batter. That was in the start that Shaw had up in Montreal. He was a fanatic way out there in right center. Incaviglia can hit him out that way too. Be pulling off a little bit here against Shaw, and it's 0-2. A little talk with himself. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. No balls and 2 strikes on Incaviglia. When Danny Ozark was here, he used to run in this situation all the time. Figured up, well, you get your guy thrown out, you lead off with a hitter with a fresh count.
You don't buy that?
No.
No? You'd rather go
sometimes. I think sometimes, but I'd rather see Incaviglia swinging 0-2 here with men on base.
Right-handed pitcher, slider. I hear you.
There are some situations where, you know,
I hear what you're saying.
He's hot right now. If he wasn't hot, I'd say yeah. And he still might punch out. Oh, high.
Why don't you just cover all the bases?
No.
See, but I keep trying to get you to make a statement and stick with it.
I stuck with it.
I hear you. I agree.
You agree with that, Barnes? Yeah. Now, if Incaviglia were struggling, you'd think, yeah, all right, start the runner. If he gets thrown out, give him a fresh count next inning. But he's such a hot RBI guy. You want to see him swinging the bat with men on base. 1-2. Gets jammed, pops it foul, long run for a couple of fielders, and Reddy can't get there. Randy Reddy had a long run for that and couldn't make it. They're pulled way over for Incaviglia.
Yeah, Randy probably 3 or 4 steps slower than Delino DeShields, but that ball was not really hit that high. Got kind of Incaviglia was jammed just a little bit.
And the count's 1-2 on him.
But Randy Reddy is not a guy you're going to anticipate being in your lineup every day, but he can sure fill in for you in a number of areas.
Got him on a breaking ball.
Told you they should have sent him.
You know, Mr. Take a Stand. In the inning, the Phillies tie him 1 run on 1 hit, and they'll leave a couple. 4-4 after 4.
If you want your car done right, bring it to a place that puts its money where its mouth is. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, where millions of cars every year are covered by our pledge of satisfaction.
Everybody says they'll do the job right, but at Jiffy Lube, we guarantee it. One more reason Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
We thought we'd been everywhere, seen everything. We were wrong.
Put that to the bone. Put that to the bone.
These guys were weird, and we liked it. Later, they took us to the Tower of Bud. Brother, tomorrow we ride again.
Upon completing the rear axle assembly diagrams using a 9-inch gripping wrench, tighten the C diagrams and secure the frame extenders to the housing mount. Congratulations, you built a tricycle. While the simplest things can be made complex, the challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile, with straight answers, clear explanations, and with no assembly required. Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
Jacket Day is coming up on Sunday, August the 29th at 1:35. Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. This is a great-looking item, a blue pullover with the Phillies logo on the front and the back. Compliments of Acme and Kraft. Call 463-1000 or stop by one of the many local Ticketmaster locations. The new pitcher is Mike Williams, who made his major league debut on June the 30th. He lost to Ken Hill by a score of 7-2 here at Veterans Stadium against these Expos. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. He's facing Montreal for the first time this year, and that game against the Expos last year, the only time he has faced them. There are the numbers on Williams, who will come in after Tommy Green goes the first 4. Marrero, it's a ground ball to short, and Stocker throws him out. Marrero, in his major league debut, is now 1 for 3 with an RBI double. That'll bring up Will Cordero.
Shortstop Will Cordero.
And John Vanderwall moves out into the on-deck circle to bat for Shaw. There he is. I think Vanderwall gave Mike Williams some problems in that debut last year. We'll look it up. Yeah, he hit 2 homers off him. Fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cordero. 0 for 1 with an intentional walk. Four, 6, and 3 for the Phils. 4, 5, and 1 for the Expos. Fly ball popped up. Stocker doesn't see it, and now Dykstra comes on and he grabs it. Boy, that must be a tough sun today.
It is, but the ball that's hit up there is not so much hit in the sun, which really causes a problem for the player. That's when you see a guy turn away at the last second when he loses the ball in the sun. What happens here, you flip your glasses so that you can take away some of the glare. It's very bright out here, so by flipping the glasses you don't get that glare as you look off to the side.
John Vanderwall, the pinch hitter, at 237 with 4 for 17. 2 for 2 off Mike Williams in that start last year. 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. So he had 2 hits and 1 home run off Williams. He had a 3-run homer off him early in that ball game. And that was Mike Williams' major league debut that night here at the Vet. Mike Williams has put together really good numbers at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And he's been a valuable spot starter fill-in guy for the Phillies this year. Vanderwall hits that one off the end of the bat. Chamberlain broke back, but now comes in, makes a play, and Williams has a 1-2-3-5. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th, tied up at 4.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
Sunshiny day.
RCA Home Theater products at Bryn Mawr Stereo, where we sell Goosebumps.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
Mike's the first guy that ever explained life insurance in a way that we could understand it.
Making things clear is the part of my job I like best.
He showed us all of the options that Nationwide has and even helped us choose.
It's training, seminars and updates. It just never stops at Nationwide.
With life insurance, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we know Mike.
Agents like Mike are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
By Nationwide Insurance, Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Exton is Frank Imperato.
The homestand continues with the New York Mets coming into town tomorrow night for a night game at 7:35. And then on Saturday at 7:05. Sunday is road jersey day for all kids 14 and under. That game begins at 1:35. Just call 463-1000 for those tickets, or stop by one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets. New pitcher, the left-hander Brian Barnes, whom the Phillies have seen a number of times, mostly as a starting pitcher. There he is. The guy who went to the University of South Carolina a few years ago, led all of Major League Baseball in strikeouts. Throws a lot of change-ups. There you see the numbers on him. Barnes now pitching out of the bullpen. He has had 8 starts this year and 3 saves for the Expos. He will face Wes Chamberlain, Todd Pratt, and Kevin Stocker. Mike Williams would bat 4th in the inning. I want to ask you something right now. We're talking about the sun and the sky and the sunglasses. And I heard you and Richie Ashburn, Gary, in a discussion a couple weeks ago talking about whether to use sunglasses or not to use them. And you guys have a difference of opinion.
Huge difference of opinion on the correct way to play the ball. No, I never go up against the legend. It's a can't win situation.
Yeah, I go through it all the time. No, seriously, I thought it was pretty on why you would use them or why you wouldn't use them as Chamberlain bats. Because, I mean, there aren't schools of thought on that, right?
Not in my opinion. In my opinion, there's only one way to play the ball in the sun. And Richie and I disagree on how that's
Well, how
done.
would you play it in the sun?
Well, if the ball is hit in the sun, the first thing I would do would be to throw up my glove to block the sun. I don't believe that even with sunglasses looking directly in the sun, you can see the ball. So you put up your glove first to block the sun, and then if you need your sunglasses, you flip them down at that time. I don't believe in running after the ball with your sunglasses down, again, because depth perception is a problem. And you start running, you flip your glasses, it's daylight into darkness. So a lot of those little things we disagree on.
I think that's very interesting. 2 terrific outfielders disagreeing on something like that. Ripped to left by Chamberlain. Alou is playing really deep, and he grabs it. We've been pointing out all afternoon how deep he plays, and it's tough to hit it over his head.
Well, we've been pointing out the whole series how deep he plays, and finally he catches one that by being deep it helps him. But how many have been hit in front of him? Chamberlain really hits this ball good. But we can think back to last night. You'll see back already able to make the play by the wall. But we saw last night a ball that Alou was not able to catch that was in front of him, and we saw it happen again today. But that's a good play there.
Here's Todd Pratt, who has walked and struck out. Deep to right center. Walker a long run. Still going back at the wall. It bounces off the wall, and Walker tumbles on the warning track. And Todd Pratt with a stand-up double as he continues to drive the ball well the other way.
Well, we saw what happens on the ball that's inside. It can be so far inside it'll hit him and he'll swing at it. But when he can get those arms extended, he loves to drive the ball the other way. One of the hard things about playing in close is that you can cover so much ground going back to the wall, and it's tough to play the wall and the ball by the time you finally get there. And you'll see Walker run into that problem. He loves to play in shallow. You see Grissom backing up, holds Pratt to a double.
Yeah, they have 2 outfielders that play very shallow in Grissom and Walker, and then Alou who plays deep.
Right, and if you're playing shallow, you have a lot of ground to cover behind you, so it's hard to play the wall.
Kevin Stocker, the batter.
But what you're counting on by playing shallow is that 9 out of 10 balls are going to be hit in front of you, so you'll be able to make those plays.
Inside, Mike Williams is on deck. The Phillies do have bullpen activity. Here is Williams. Phillies are very left-handed off the bench today, starting right-handed hitters against Reeder. There is Roger Mason starting to throw.
I don't think the Phillies will let Williams hit with a runner in scoring position.
Stocker with a hard ground ball gobbled up by Lansing. Throws him out 2 down, and we'll see what happens. And Williams goes back, and here comes Kruk. And the crowd sings John in the on-deck circle. Starts to react to him. Batting .340, third best in the league, 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. If Jim Fergosi's going to make a move off the bench today, it's going to be a left-handed hitter. He has one right-handed hitter in Kim Baptiste, who hasn't played much lately, so he uses Kruk here off Barnes. Bounces up there. Good block by Fletcher. Kruk lifetime off Brian Barnes. Another reason why he's using him is 7 for 17, a homer and 5 runs batted in. That's a .412 average. There's a fanatic out there at the center field camera. So you have a left-left situation right now, but one that Fergosi has to like because of Kruk's lifetime numbers against this left-hander.
Well, the downside of that, why you would rather go after Kruk, even though he has better numbers, is he's coming off the bench, an unfamiliar role to him as a pinch hitter. So Dykstra's been in the game, is pretty much zeroed in. So I would much rather go after Kruk in this situation.
There are Kruk's numbers against left-handers and right-handers.
I mean, there's a whole ritual that pinch hitters go through before they get an at-bat. There are certain times during the game where they're working on something, going up, getting loose. If you're a regular sitting on the bench, you just sit there and wait for them to tell you that you might be getting in the game.
Kruk can't believe that's a strike, and he just turns around and looks at Joe West and then looks back down at home plate. 1-2.
Yeah, you kind of get the impression he doesn't think that's a strike. And on replay, I have to agree with him, but they're not changing their mind.
No. Pratt leads off second. Breaking ball fouled out of play, left field side to the crowd. Phillies have out-hit the Expos now 7-5. Mike Williams, 1 perfect inning behind Tommy Green, and Roger Mason will be the new pitcher. A ball and 2 strikes on Kruk with 2 outs. Trying to break this tie. Barnes' pitch, and a foul tip held on to by Fletcher. He struck him out. Phillies out here in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left as Kruk has a shot for Joe West as he leaves. Kruk figures he's not staying in the game. Joe West just nails him with an equipment fine for throwing his bat and helmet. It's 4-4 through 5, and now he's gone whether he was in the game or not.
A jillion miles outside of the hood. The bus got a flat. Got no jack. Homie's got to cut his grass. What's up?
4.5. 4.5 here down. 4.5 here down. 600. Sold.
The man's round sales, but he's got no beat.
Pardon me. That was there.
Yo, MC Cow Seller. Fresh.
Hazy sunshine this afternoon, high close to yesterday's 96 downtown.
If you
you've got a group of 25 or more, we'll give you a great time at a Phillies game. For all the details about a special package for your group at a Phillies game, call 463-5000.
Here's the replay of John Kruk and his at-bat. Boom, swing and a miss. Well, he foul-tipped it right there, but he's mad about the pitch before that was called a strike. And he has a couple words for West, who has a couple of words for John Kruk, and that is, you're out here.
Well, first the bat goes.
That's
then the helmet. There's the equipment fine. And now Joe West keeps looking. He's going to write down the fines, but he's still looking and listening, hoping Kruk will say something. He does, and he throws him out. He was just waiting, and he got him. We go to the top of the order. Randy Reddy will lead it off. Randy Reddy, Mike Lansing, Marquise Grissom to face the new pitcher, the right-hander Roger Mason. There are the numbers on Mason. Mason, since coming over to the Phillies, 3-1, an earned run average of 4.94, game number 16 for him. Reddy is 1 for 3, all of his at-bats coming off the starter Tommy Green. Mason, lifetime against these Expos, has been in 12 games. He's 0-2 with a 7+ earned run average against Montreal. Kind of surprising because of all the right-handed batters they have. This is the first time he'll face him in a Phil's uniform. Grounded towards third. Tough play for Hollins. Long throw, low. Nice play. Ricky Jordan, they got him. What a play by Jordan.
Jordan hung in there. Ball was out in front of him. You know, you have a tendency to come off the bag on that because he waited as long as he could to try and judge where that ball was going to bounce. And he's stretching. It comes up. Oh, and it's far enough out in front where that ball isn't automatic.
Oh, no, it's in the dirt, too. Once they get in the cutout like that, they're really tough.
You don't know where they're going to go. They could skid and stay down. But to hold your foot on the bag like that, that's a tough play.
Very good play by Jordan. Hollins made a good play to get it started and then really tested him. Lansing is 1 for 3. He has singled, scored a run, stolen a base. And the pitch is low, bounces away from Pratt. 1-1. Now on Lansing in a 4-4 game here in the 6th inning. Been some good defense, some ugly defense in this one.
I mean, Randy Reddy getting a few hits, but Dave Hollins has picked him a few times in this series.
Mason works inside, 2-1. Ten years ago today, the Phillies were looking to win the National League East. And there's a rip job to left. This will be extra bases off the wall on one hop. And Mike Lansing moves into second, and Cavilla fumbles it a little, but it'll just be a double for Lansing, his 21st of the year.
Well, the reason he fumbled it, he thought he had a shot at second, wanted to just barehand it off the glass, but it's a do-or-die type situation. Look at the leg lift there. Lansing rips this ball in the left field. Watch Incavilla thinking maybe I got a shot at him at second, tries to barehand it right there. It gets away from him. Once it gets on that rubber stuff out there by the track, it bounces in about 5 or 6 different directions.
They really spin when they come off that warning track. Grissom, the batter, who is 0 for 3 today. He does have a run batted in on a fielder's choice, his 66th of the year. Larry Walker waits on deck. Mason throws strike 1 to Marquise.
I got to get back to Richie Ashburn for a second here. Like everything else with this game, there's probably about 16,000 ways to do everything.
Right.
So I'm not saying that he's absolutely wrong.
There he is. No, I thought it was neat that you two had a difference of opinion on something like that, you know, when you both played the position so well. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, it wasn't like it was a shortstop and a center fielder having that discussion.
He said, why don't we get Lenny Dykstra and Willie Mays and the 4 of us discuss it?
Dykstra will discuss that with you. Hit foul third base side.
Mason leaving that breaking ball inside, and it's getting hit pretty hard in there.
And Grissom is pulling off it so much that if he gets it away from him, I don't think Marquise is going to hurt him. But he got that one a little bit too far in. He hit it hard.
Well, he likes to sink the ball inside. He likes to jam right-hander, so he's having a tendency to leave that breaking ball too far inside.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Grissom. There's a good fastball away. Grissom was pulling off that one a little bit and couldn't reach it.
Well, again, we talked about Mason loving to pound those right-handers inside. It's a straight fastball on the outside part of the plate. Everybody has to be surprised.
See, he was exiting a little bit too, was Marquise Grissom on that.
Well, he was anticipating the ball being inside, thinking he might have to open up a little bit.
Larry Walker, the batter. Walker 0 for 2, strikeout. He's walked, scored a run, stolen a base, and flied to left.
Well, he flied to left. It was a weak. It was not so much that it was a weak fly ball, but it was the first ball I really saw him take a swing at. So you got to really be careful if he starts to come out of it. You want to find out later, not in a crucial situation.
He had a swing at that one, a good rip. And Lansing, the runner at second base, with 2 outs in a tie ball game.
You go up there for so long and you're feeling for the ball, and that doesn't work. Then you say, "Oh, forget it," and just say, "I'm going to let it fly."
He let that one fly. 1-1 on him. Now Lansing with a big lead off second attracts Roger Mason's attention. He steps off. Fouled away. No play for anybody. Yeah, you got it. Nice going.
Just lost your job because you're on television, but hey, you got that ball.
He's trying to hide. He's doing a bad job. That summed up some of that exuberance. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Walker. Off speed pitch, beaten foul first base side.
You know, that's what you do. You get your foul ball and duck so they can't get on camera.
Some celebrate, some just take the ball and put it in their pocket. Kind of like players.
That's a tough series, 1 for 9 for a hitter of his caliber.
Just called a balk on Mason. Jeez, what are these guys doing today? Gary Darling did second base, just yelled balk, called a balk at Mason for not stopping, so the pitch doesn't count.
Well, he says he doesn't come set with his hands.
Exactly.
We'll see. Here it is.
Oh, you know, that is so picky. I get tired of talking about that rule. So the runner's at third. 2 outs. There is Lansing now at third base.
Todd Pratt, a good job of framing that.
Look at Padres.
Johnny Padres yells a few words and knows to go and hide. And knows to go and hide when you finish that sentence.
Got him. Struck him out. Larry Walker's miseries continue so far in this series. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Still a tie game. We go to the bottom of the 6th. And it's time now for the edition of Wees Remembered, as Larry Rosa looks back to exactly 10 years ago today when the Wees kids were primed to begin their late season run to the National League pennant.
Let's go back to the dog days of August 1983 as the Phillies began their run to the pennant. The St. Louis Cardinals were in town to challenge the first-place Phillies, featuring a rookie center fielder named Andy Van Slyke, who would flash his future Gold Glove form. And then second-year Cardinal Ozzie Smith.
There goes DeJesus, swing and a hard ground ball. Look at that play by Ozzie Smith. He's coming home. He is out at home plate.
It would be one of the final Phillies victories for September 1980 hero Marty Weisstrom. And the game winner came through the raindrops.
Runner breaking, a slam past Ramsey into right center field. LaFay score easily. Hayes heading for third base, and the Phillies lead it 2-1.
Future MVP and Cy Young Award winner Willie Hernandez would throw 3 strong innings for the save, retiring Lonnie Smith to end it. Paul Owens' Phillies beginning to solidify their hold on first place, anticipating that memorable September.
Andy Van Slyke's rookie year, huh? A lot of familiar faces there.
Boy, how about a young Ozzie Smith doing what he's been doing for his whole career. But it was they had the reunion game this year for the 1983 team. It was good to see a lot of those guys again. I saw Kiko Garcia at the end of that shot. Hernandez, Gary Matthews was here. Joe LaFay.
Joe LaFay, yeah, that was fun, that 83 reunion game. These business person specials are very popular. If you haven't been to one, you still have one more shot when the Colorado Rockies are in a couple of weeks. And we hope to see you out here. Good ball game today. Tied at 4, bottom of the 6th inning. Lenny Dykstra leads it off for the Phillies. Brian Barnes in his 2nd inning of work. Lenny is 1 for 3 with a double. Dykstra lifetime off Brian Barnes, a .294 hitter, 5 for 17. He's 2 for 3 off him this season. And it's 0-2 on Dykstra.
Lenny asked if the ball was up.
On deck is Mariano Duncan, and then Ricky Jordan to follow. Brian Barnes, fastball, breaking ball, throws a lot of change-ups to right-handed batters. I mentioned the Phillies have seen quite a bit of Barnes over the years. They beat him as a starter this year earlier in Montreal by a score of, or actually he won at Montreal. He beat the Phillies 8-4. He beat Tommy Green in that game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dykstra reaches out and pokes it to Reddy, who takes it right off the turf on a line drive, 1 out.
Got that breaking ball a little bit inside to Dykstra, so he was able to get a piece of it. Here's a pitch. It's a breaking ball. Good one. Lenny stays in there, tries to pull that ball. You can tell it's a good breaking ball because he starts to fall out. Normally that ball he'll try and hit the other way, that's away from him.
And the always exciting Randy Reddy makes the play. Duncan the batter. Barnes gets strike 1 on him. Mariano 1 for 2 in this game. He has knocked in a run with an infield out. Series for Duncan against these Expos. Final game of the series here this afternoon. The Mets move into town tomorrow night.
He's been doing the job with the bat, not hurting the team on defense, and that's why Pergosi's decided to go with him. Morandini had been struggling a little bit offensively.
Morandini used as a pinch hitter in this game.
Drew a walk, scored a run.
Phillies still have Eisenreich, Thompson, and Dalton on the bench from the left side. Barnes misses inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Duncan, who drew a rare walk today and scored a run in the 3rd inning, only his 10th walk of the year. It's a tough play for Cordero. He gets there and throws him out. Good range by Will Cordero.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, he was off. Good anticipation. I mean, he made up some ground in a hurry, and you can see why they love him as an infielder, shortstop. It's right back over the pitcher's head, and I mean, in 2 steps, he's across on the other side of second base, the right field side of second. 27 errors this year, and you know, a rookie learning to play on the AstroTurf and playing the big leagues, but good range and someone they're happy with as far as potential.
Ricky Jordan, the batter. Ricky 1 for 2 today, 4 for 9 lifetime off Brian Barnes with a couple of runs batted in.
Ricky's hit a couple of balls hard today. 1 for a base hit and 1 with a drawn in infield and a runner on third.
Now Ricky ahead in the count, 2-0. Ball 3. He'll take a look down at Larry Bowe to see if they'll let him swing away here against Brian Barnes. You would think he would catch a green light here. Barnes this year, as far as home run balls go, has served up 9 of them. Good pitch on the outside corner, 3-1. Brian Barnes, 5'9", 170-pound left-hander from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Hit to right field and deep. Down the line goes Walker. It is off the wall again. Bounces back towards the infield. Jordan's going to get a triple out of it. Ricky Jordan at third with a stand-up triple, his first of the year.
On just about every pitch that Barnes made to Jordan, Jordan kind of backed off of it a little bit. He got to 3-0. He threw him a fastball outside part of the plate, came back with another one. Ricky looking out there, nails one to right field off the top of the wall.
Larry Walker's been running into some walls and not catching any baseballs.
Well, you're not going to catch that ball. If Ricky Jordan hits the ball off the wall in right field, you got to give it to him, especially if you want to try and play in a shallow outfield.
So Dave Hollins, the batter. Ricky Jordan at third with 2 outs and a tie game here in the 6th inning. Hollins 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. Tim Scott, the right-hander, warms up. Hollins 3 for 11 off Barnes in his career with no RBIs. Barnes has been starting the hitters with strike 1. He does it again to Hollins. Pitch. Strike 2 ball. This one on the inside corner. Dave Hollins with runners in scoring position has been very effective this year. And he has one at third in the person of Ricky Jordan with 2 outs.
Yep.
Struck him out looking on the inside corner, and he doesn't like it. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We'll see Gary Maddox here on Saturday night. We are through 6 and tied at 4.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says a Bell of Pennsylvania on the front. It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah.
Pictures would like to take you out to the ball game for an all-star comedy.
They'll pay you $75 a week.
We only make 30 at the dairy.
Well, then, this would be more, wouldn't it? See, how it works is the train moves, not the station.
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
My uniform bursts open, and oops, my bosoms come flying out.
You think there are men in this country who ain't seen your bosoms?
A league of their own.
It's a really good-looking baseball jacket, free for kids 14 and under. Compliments of Acme and Kraft when the Phillies play the Reds Sunday, August 29th at 1:35. They'll make a racket to get this jacket. Call 463-1000.
Well, as we welcome Jay Johnstone back, here's the pitch that Dave Hollins took to end the inning.
Good breaking ball. As you can see, the ball kind of slides right over the center of the plate at knee high.
Hollins thought it might have been inside, but on that replay, it looks like it was a strike. Good pitch. Mason to Alou, and he hits the first pitch off the end of the bat to center. Dykstra is right there, puts it away, one away. Alou has knocked in a couple runs in the game with 2 doubles. And that'll bring up Darren Fletcher 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, a flyout, all off the starter Tommy Green. Tommy, by the way, went 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Threw the ball well today, but looked like he was a little bit rusty. He didn't have great location and might have been running out of gas a little bit, so they got him out of there after 4. But the good news is it didn't appear he had any trouble with that groin.
Well, yeah, that's the most important thing, because now he can work himself back into getting to where he feels comfortable on the mound. Big concern is you don't want to have a reoccurrence of that groin injury.
Mike Williams pitched a perfect inning behind him. Stocker has a lot of time. Fletcher's a slow runner, and he got it. Wide throw, but Ricky Jordan laid the tag on Fletcher. And there are 2 down here in the 7th.
Now, see, that's the difference between a guy that can play first base a little bit and not a fill-in guy. Is the throw was wide into the runner. Instead of trying to reach up and catch it and keep your foot on the base, Jordan quickly comes off the base, and then he's in front of the bag. All he has to do is come down and tag the runner, who runs right into the glove.
And Fletcher looked like he tried to go down to avoid the tag and tripped over the bag, and luckily
didn't hurt himself.
Darren's all right. Here's Marrero with a base hit to right field, his 2nd major league hit, 2 for 4 in the game. And he swung at the first pitch 3 out of 4 times today.
That's being noted by about, what do we got down there, about 10, 15 scouts in the stands today?
Cordero, the batter, 0 for 2 with an intentional walk. Barnes is due to bat next. Nobody in the on-deck circle yet for Montreal. Expos are short a player today because the Shields is out with the hairline fracture of the thumb. They'll probably have to replace him if they decide to disable him. There is the Shields, and you would think with a cast like that he's going to be disabled
real quick.
Yeah, so they are 1 extra man down this afternoon. Fly ball left center field and hit well. Both Dykstra and Incaviglia are running for it, and Incaviglia is there and makes the play. Out in the 7th inning of the Expos, no runs a hit, no errors. They'll leave 1. We head to the bottom of the 7th, all tied up.
Can Texaco System 3 gasolines help make a difference in performance?
System 3 performs in a car the way I perform in a car.
With System 3, anybody can perform like Mario Andretti, but not in my county.
Every grade of Texaco System 3 performs in cars both new and old.
They do? Well, no wonder we're getting the horsepower we should be getting. Isn't that right, Ashley?
Count on System 3 for performance in your car.
Dad, can you drive like Mario Andretti?
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families. For new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
RCA Home Theater Products at Bryn Mawr Stereo, where we sell Goosebumps.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with a Blue Cross Blue Shield health tip. Should you use cold or heat for sprains, strains, or swelling? Apply cold for 20 minutes at 1-hour intervals for the first 24 to 48 hours. After 2 days, use moist heat to speed the healing process.
Well, there's a new Expos pitcher, Tim Laker, coming in replace of Darren Fletcher. And on the mound, we have a new pitcher, right-hander Tim Scott.
Tim Scott's a right-hander they acquired from the San Diego Padres in exchange for Archie Sinfracco. They also have changed in the infield. Looks like Sean Berry's going to play third, and the new shortstop will be Mike Lansing. So the Expos with several changes here in the 7th inning as Tim Scott gets ready to go. There is Berry, the new third baseman, and Lansing will move over and now play shortstop. There's Lansing, who has had quite a game with that dirty uniform.
Scott pretty much a fastball, curve, slider type pitcher. Every now and then he'll throw a changeup. Got a good sinking fastball. And gets hurt if he gets his curveball up in his zone like most pitchers.
Cavilla will lead it off for the Phillies. Cavilla on the afternoon, 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a run batted in, and a strikeout. So the Expos will go to pitcher number 4 in the person of Tim Scott. And Cavilla takes it outside. Scott will bat in the 8-hole. Pitch to Incaviglia, big swing and a miss, a fastball. Incaviglia, Chamberlain, and Pratt, 3 right-handed batters to face Scott, who works from the stretch at all times. And the pitch, breaking ball and a beauty over for a strike. Scott last year at San Diego was 4-1 in 34 games, an earned run average of 5.26. He also pitched at Las Vegas in 24 games where he was 1-2. Sinfracco, now the everyday third baseman, at least he was for a while when the Phillies were playing him for San Diego. Popped up, fly ball right field and shallow. A lot of room for Walker, comes in, grabs it, 1 away.
You see the outfielders using a lot of their glasses today.
Well, the official 1993 Phil's gift and souvenir catalog, courtesy of Kellogg's, is now available. The catalog features all your favorite Phillies items, including jackets, jerseys, t-shirts, caps, and much, much more. Plus, see a special offer in the catalog. And you can get the catalog free just by calling the Phillies at 463-1000 and ask for a Phillies souvenir and gift catalog. Wes Chamberlain, the batter. Chamberlain is 1 for 3 with a double off the top of the wall in center field, knocked in a run on an infield out in the 3rd, and lined out to elude. Plays very, very deep in left field. That was in the 5th inning. He has knocked in 1 run. By the way, in the order for Montreal, Laker is batting in the 6th spot. And Berry will bat 9th, the new third baseman. And so my good friend Scout Eddie Lyons and the rest of the guys watching can get their lineup card straight.
That's right. You got to get that lineup card straight. Far, Scott has shown some pretty good velocity on his fastball.
There are a lot of scouts here today. Pat Dobson, Eddie Liberatore, Tom Ferrick, Eddie Lyons, Dick Gernert, to name a few. Chamberlain off the end of the bat into center field, a base hit. Fielded by Marquise Grissom will get it back in, so Wes Chamberlain has his second hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Pratt.
Nice piece of hitting by Chamberlain here. Scott had kept the ball inside on the 2 previous pitches. Then he tried to go away with his fastball. Chamberlain went out to reach it, hit it off the end of the bat, but still winds up with a single.
And Pratt has walked, struck out, double to right. Doing a real good job for the Phillies, batting at .279. And a breaking ball from Scott misses. Scott with the Expos is 2-1 with a 2.70 earned run average. This is his 18th game in a Montreal uniform. He's walked 12, struck out 16, and 16 2/3 innings.
A lot of those strikeouts have come with that curveball we just witnessed. It's kind of a big, slow-rolling tumbler. And probably, on most of the days he pitches, that is his best pitch.
Kevin Stocker on deck, and then Mason due to bat. Larry Anderson up in the Phillies bullpen. Brian Barnes is the only left-hander that Felipe Alou has. He used him up as Tim Laker looks in at Alou. And the Phillies still have Eisenreich, Thompson, and Dalton to come off the bench from the left side, and he doesn't have a left-hander. Gets away from Laker. That might be a pass ball. I don't know how far away it was. We'll see how they score it. You know what? Chamberlain started to break then and stopped, and it's almost like Laker took a little peek at it. Let's see. Well, that ball's got to be caught.
No, he got crossed up or something because he just didn't get out in front of it. That's a straight fastball. Look at this.
And it is a pass ball on the new catcher Laker, who just came into the ball game. But Chamberlain at second base now with 1 out, and the count 3-0 on Pratt. 4-4. We are in the 7th. Three and 1. Expos with good arms in the outfield, and Alou, Grissom, and Walker. Chamberlain, an average base runner, is a little below average speed at second. 3-1 breaking ball, and it's a beauty. According to Joe West, Pratt didn't like it, and he takes a little circle route back to the box. But he didn't give in with a fastball.
You know, I hate to tell you, that ball cut all the way down the center of the plate. You know, even though he caught it low, it's not where the catcher catches it, it's where it crosses the plate. And that ball had a pretty good break from the letters all the way down to the knees.
Tried to hold up and swung at it. That ball almost hit him again. You remember earlier in the ball game, Pratt swung and missed at a pitch, and it hit him, and he struck out. And he gets fooled here. Watch what happens. He wants to hold up on this pitch, and then couldn't, swung and fell down.
You remember last time, what, a couple months ago, he had a terrific swing like that, and he twisted his ankle, and we lost him for 3 weeks.
He is exciting. Todd Pratt. He is a very popular guy in the clubhouse because he handles his role so well. He knows he's not going to play very often. He doesn't spend much time complaining about it. Kevin Stocker's 0 for 3, struck out, grounded out twice. Roger Mason moves into the on-deck circle as Larry Anderson continues to throw in the bullpen. Very shallow now is Alou in left, and also Grissom in center. And any ball hit to either of those guys, you can look for a play at the plate. We mentioned they both throw well, and Walker maybe the best arm of all of them in right field. You don't really look for Stocker to pull a ball here necessarily. 1-1. Up the middle. Oh, it slowed up as it hit the mound, so Chamberlain's going to score. Here comes Grissom's throw. It's cut off, and they have Stocker, but he'll get back to first. That ball really slowed up when it hit the mound, and it gave Chamberlain an easy chance to score, and the Phillies lead the game by a run.
That's a nice little break for the Phillies, because you're right, when it did hit the mound, and the mound is about 10 inches high, maybe 11. As you can see right here, when the ball does hit the mound, it slows up as it bounds out into center field. Grissom really does his job. He hits the cutoff man, and the first baseman, Marrero, cuts it off, but Stocker, there's nobody there, made a big wide turn, is able to get back easily. Big hit by this kid.
Here's a look at it again, and there it hit that mound and kicked up in the air, and that slowed it up and gave Grissom no shot. Good break for the Phillies there, as Chamberlain's able to score easily when they cut it off.
Another big two-out hit for the Phillies.
And Kevin Stocker continues to do a good job. Here comes Eisenreich out now to bat for Mason. So the Phillies gain the lead here in the 7th inning. And Larry Anderson would pitch the 8th, and Mitch Williams, who hasn't pitched in a long time, might be coming in the 9th inning.
It's called taking advantage of the home field advantage.
There's Wes Chamberlain, who scored the go-ahead run, and Eisenreich as a pinch hitter. Jim had a home run in the ball game last night. He is 2 for 14 as a pinch hitter, and he, of course, will stay in the game and play right field, as the Phillies will go to a little better defense that way. Scott's pitch misses high.
Of course, all this set up on the pass ball by the new catcher, Tim Laker. You know, Chris, you look in the statistics, 9 of 14 teams this year are in double figures in pass balls. 9 of 14, that's a lot of pass balls in the National League.
Right, and at this point, this would be an unearned run. Outside. Phillies have out-hit the Expos 10-7, now lead it by a run. Eisenreich, a line shot to right, Walker right there. Eisenreich on the nose, but right at Larry Walker. Phillies get the go-ahead run in the inning. It'll be unearned. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, but a costly pass ball. The Phils lead it by 1.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud.
There are lots of ways to have fun at a baseball game besides the game. Now, the games. The Phillies give Colorado a Rocky Mountain Low Monday, August 23rd, and Tuesday the 24th at 7:35, and Wednesday the 25th at 12:35 in a business person special. Then Cincinnati turns red Friday, August 27th at 7:35, Saturday the 28th at 7:05, and Sunday the 29th at 1:35 when kids get a baseball jacket free. Call 463-1000.
If you want your car done right, it has to be done by the right people.
We take care of our customers. We do the job right.
Quality all the way.
Experience counts. The customer comes first. Satisfaction guaranteed.
We're only as good as our people. That's why Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Well, let's check out the summary of the ball game. As you can see, the Phillies have trailed several times in the game, 3-0. They tied it at 3, 4-3. They tied it at 4, and now they have just gone ahead with a run in the 7th inning to lead 5-4. Moises Alou, a good ball game with a couple of doubles. Bullpen so far has done the job, and Kevin Stocker knocks in the go-ahead run with the single you just saw here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As we move to the 8th, Jim Eisenreich stays in the game. He'll play right field and bat 9th, and the new Phillies pitcher, 2 innings last night for him, Larry Anderson, will bat in Wes Chamberlain's spot in the 6th hole. There are the numbers on Anderson, and he has very good lifetime numbers against the Montreal Expos.
And of course, Anderson with several pitches. Slider, 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 slider.
He'll deke you with a fastball once in a while.
Well, that's the 8th pitch. I forgot. You know who won a lot of games and did a great job for many years with that same MO?
Barky Lyle.
You bet your bippy. Slider, 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 slider. And what does he have? 237 saves in his career?
There's Eisenreich, the new right fielder. Sean Berry, Randy Reddy, and Mike Lansing, 3 right-handed batters due to face Larry Anderson here in the 8th as the Phillies cling to a 1-run lead, trying to sweep the series and go 31 games over 500 for the first time this year. There's a slider.
Wow.
Sometimes it's hard to tell with him whether it's a slider or cut fastball, but almost everything he throws moves away from right-handed batters.
Have they announced the attendance
Not yet. Should be over 40,000.
I would think so.
Berry swings and misses at another one. Anderson last night pitching 2 innings, 2 perfect innings. As we look at the crowd assembled here this afternoon at the vet on a nice afternoon. The sun is kind of peeked in right now. It's kind of a hazy sun. No balls and 2 strikes. Berry came into the game in a double switch to play third base. He is batting for the first time in the game. He's batting in the 9th spot. Breaking ball struck him out. There's that slider away. And Larry Anderson strikes out the first batter he faces. 1 out here.
Watch the location on the breaking ball. He starts it right on the outside part of the plate, which is a strike. But then as the batter sees it and starts his momentum forward to swing, the ball breaks down and away out of the strike zone.
Randy Reddy 1 for 4. Phillies used Anderson for 2 in the game last night. They, of course, wouldn't use him for 3 because they wanted him available for this right-handed hitting Expos lineup today. Anderson at age 40 is not going to pitch 3 innings. So he was ready to go today, and the Phillies want to get 1 out of him this afternoon.
Wow. You were close, Chris.
What was it?
45,002.
And 2. Where are those 2 people?
Let's see. Let's see. We'll find those 2 people.
It's us.
You know, speaking of attendance, last year. There they are. There are those 2 people. Those are the odd 2.
And 2.
688,296,000 fans have come to the park this year, more than last year at this time. So the Philly fans really supporting their team this year.
Randy Reddy laying off the breaking ball. He's had a good series. Played last night at first and led off the game today with a double and scored. Now Anderson throws one down the middle and gets it over.
You know, they were predicting what, about 2.7 million? I think they got a chance to reach maybe 3 million people this year.
Yeah, the month of September is a hard draw here, because when the kids go back and the groups, you know, drop off, and if you get a rain out or something in September. But it should be very interesting to see what the Phillies do draw in the month of September.
If the weather holds up and they continue to stay in the race.
Larry Anderson with a smile for Joe West as he requests a new baseball. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Randy Reddy. 1 out here in the 8th inning. In a ball game, the Phillies lead 5-4.
Big hello to the Steve Rotfeld production company here in force tonight, all 6 of them.
Fouled away. They do a lot of good work.
And several people already came up and asked him for his autograph. They think he looks a lot like Michael Keaton, the Michael Keaton that was in Beetlejuice.
Uh-oh. Breaking ball away, way away, and Randy Reddy does not chase it. He walks. So there's 1 out, and Mike Lansing, the batter, he swung the bat well today, 2 for 4. This guy looks like a pretty good player. Play a lot of positions, looks like a mistake hitter. Saw a piece on him today on Larry Rosen's pregame show.
The one thing I like about him is he chokes up on the bat a little bit. Gives him a little bit better bat control. He knows he's not a home run here. So what he's going to do is he's going to utilize his strength, which is putting the bat on the ball, hitting line drives.
He's got above average speed, too. There you see him choking up on the bat a little. Dirty uniform today.
Everybody used to think that that used to be for punching Judy hitters. I guess Barry Bonds kind of threw that idea out the window.
And Anderson gets him to chase that pitch away, and it's 0-2. Randy Reddy on at first base, not a base stealer. Held on by Ricky Jordan. David West starting to heat up in the Phillies bullpen. He's up in case you get to Larry Walker, and it means something. If you get to Walker, it'll definitely mean something. Pratt framed it, didn't get the pitch. 1-2. The crowd is all over Joe West here this afternoon, so they reacted to that, of course. One ball, 2 strikes on Mike Lansing. The pitch. Perfect breaking ball outside corner, struck him out looking. Larry Anderson throwing really well last night and again today so far, but now he's got to get through Marquise Grissom.
Watch what he does with this breaking ball. You see normally that he tries to get that breaking ball and starts it about a little bit above the knees, and it breaks down and away. This one he started it a little higher and it broke down just above the knees on the outside corner. Anderson mixing him up pretty good today.
Marquise Grissom, the batter, with Walker on deck. Here's the pitch outside. As we mentioned, David West is up and throwing. In case Grissom gets on here, he would probably come in to pitch to Walker. There is West, who pitched that very exciting 9th inning last night. Bases loaded, and he also struck out the side. And it's high to Grissom, 2-0. Dave Hollins playing the line well over at third. Big hole on the left side for Marquise. There's Hollins trying to prevent an extra base hit. And it's 3-0. Oh, where was that? My goodness. Ball 4. Anderson just kind of threw a batting practice fastball almost, it looked like, in there. Thought he would just get a strike. It's ball 4. And here comes Fregosi to bring in West to pitch to Larry Walker. Look at this pitch. Where's that?
That cut the center of the plate. Wow.
So Joe West writes the lineup change in as David West comes on. Larry Anderson leaves after 2/3 of an inning. David West will come on to pitch to Larry Walker, and we'll be back right after this.
When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. It's called taking your lumps. Cash 5. All the cash all at once. When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. It's a lot, but you can handle it. Cash 5. All the cash all at once.
Do Texaco food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Isn't that candy that pulls apart like that?
Did I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and food mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody.
And I would, too.
There's a fan. I think he thought that the pitch that Anderson just threw might have been a strike, too. And Joe West, of course, makes the mistake, or whatever he likes to do, of letting the crowd, acknowledging the crowd that they get to him. I mean, you know, they're just going to keep yelling at him. Got his own style. There's David West coming into game number 54. Excellent strikeout for innings pitched, 70 strikeouts, 66 innings. He will face the tough left-handed hitter Larry Walker, who is 0 for 3 today with a walk and a run scored. And West starts him with strike 1.
West is tough on left-handed batters because he kind of slings the ball up there and he throws it almost from a 3/4 position.
Good speed on the bases with Lansing at second and Grissom at first. Nubbed off the end of the bat to Stocker. He'll have to go to first, and he got him, and West does the job. He comes in for the one-hitter, and he gets Larry Walker out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Phil's still lead it by 1.
Why will some people only use Texaco System 3 gasolines?
I'll tell you the first reason.
My dad says System 3 cleaned out his intake things and his fuel inspector.
The second reason.
Our dads keep saying get good grades, so we come here.
The reasons I come here.
Every grade of Texaco System 3 performs in cars both new and old.
They do? Well, no wonder we're getting the horsepower we should be getting.
Count on System 3 for performance in your car.
Reasons where do I start?
Number 1 in America.
Save now on every #1 selling Ford at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. Now get a double rebate on America's #1 selling car, Ford Taurus. That's $500 cash back plus $500 clearance bonus for a total clearance cash back of $1,000. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Hurry! Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
Nothing is sacred. No one is safe. Heroes will fall. Legends will crumble. The truth will be told, at least until the season starts. It's the Great Sports Debates Fantastic Football Preview. 1 hour of pigskin madness from Angelo, Glenn, Jason, and Al, designed to tell you everything you need to know, more or less, about the Eagles and the rest of the NFL. The Great Sports Debate Fantastic Football Preview. It may not be the last word on football, but it's certainly the loudest.
With 2 outs and 2 on, the Phillies ahead by 1. David West comes in and faces Larry Walker and throws this great breaking ball, and Walker hits it off the end of the bat. Stocker has to wait for that extra hop, but that the long, quick throw just does get Larry Walker to get the Phillies out of another inning and dodge a bullet and keep the lead. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Phillies and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form or otherwise used without the express written consent of the Phillies.
Montreal Expos have now left 12 base runners on as Lenny Dykstra leads it off for the Phillies, and Mitch Williams starts to loosen up in the bullpen. Tim Scott on in his second inning, and the pitch to Dykstra is hit to deep right field. Walker going back at the wall. He makes a good catch. Larry Walker's had a few of them today, and he finally ran one of them down, one away.
Nice play by Walker, probably the second best arm in the National League. The kid from St. Louis, Witten, with the best, but here you can see knows exactly where the fence is at the exact right time, jumped up, caught the ball, kept his arms up, and bounced off the fence. Nice play.
Mariano Duncan, the batter, 1 for 3 today with an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. Duncan now with a 10-game hitting streak. On deck is Jordan, who has 2 hits. Phillies scored an unearned run off Scott in the 7th inning on a couple of hits and a pass ball. Scott's 6'2", 205-pounder out of Hanford, California. Selected by the Dodgers originally, signed by the Padres as a minor league free agent November of 1990, and then acquired by Montreal for Archie Sinfraco on June 23rd of this year. Duncan ripped down the right field line, heading for the corner. Mariano rounds first. He will coast into second with a stand-up double for Duncan. Double number 14.
Boy, he hits the right field just as good as anybody in this league, doesn't he? Waits, 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 wait back, And anything on the outside part of the plate, he's got the perfect swing for it.
Especially off right-handers that go away from him and get the ball up to him. Duncan at second base. Phillies would like to add a little insurance here. They lead it by a run, trying to sweep Montreal. Ricky is 2 for 3 today with a triple and a single. There goes Duncan. He had third stolen. Cordero just barely gets Jordan at first. Duncan had that base stolen, but Jordan didn't see him. He saw a pitch he liked, swung at it, and Cordero throws him out. Or excuse me, that's Lansing at short now. So at third base is Duncan with 2 outs. He had that stolen easily.
He did.
And Dave Holland's the batter. Holland's hitless today. He's been on twice on walks. Oh, it got through Laker. That's another pass ball, maybe. And Duncan scores on the play. And the Phillies pick up an insurance run. Laker came in late in this game, and he has had his problems. See how they scored before we called a pass ball, but it looked like it maybe should have been handled.
The ball got in the dirt, but he didn't block it.
Oh, that's a wild pitch. That's a wild pitch.
The ball got in the dirt, but he still got to go down and block it. He's got the glove down, but the ball goes right between his legs.
Yeah, he should have blocked it exactly, but it has to be a wild pitch because it was in the dirt. But it's definitely a ball, you say, Jay, should have been blocked.
Yes.
Because he lifted up too soon. So the catcher has really hurt them in these last 2 innings. The Phillies have picked up a couple of runs. And this one way outside. It pops in and out of the glove of Laker. Now the crowd's starting to jump on his case. They'll get off Joe West and get on Laker.
Heads up play too by Duncan, because had Duncan not tried to steal third base, he would have never advanced on the ground out by Jordan, and he wouldn't have scored.
Hollins to deep right field, way out of here. Home run, Dave Hollins. What a blast by Hollins, his 13th of the year, and the Phillies now lead it 7-4.
He would have scored on that one, though. Whew. And with that, Chinto donates another $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. Phillies again tacking on to their National League lead of home runs, 120 on the year.
Here's the homer. Scott with a running fastball out over the plate that didn't run very far. And Hollins just waylaid it into the right center field seats. And here's Incaviglia 2 for 4. Phillies have added 2 here in the ninth. Incaviglia gets jammed on a breaking ball. I think Scott's going to catch it. He does. He catches it himself. Teammates have a little fun with Incaviglia on that if the Phillies win the game. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. Mitch Williams is coming on in the ninth. Phils lead it by 3.
The Phillies will be loaded for bear when they play Sandberg and the Cubs Monday, September 6th at 7:05. And Tuesday through Thursday, September 7th, 8th, and 9th, all at 7:35. Then they'll try to send the Astros into space Friday, September 10th at 7:35. Saturday the 11th at 7:05. And Sunday the 12th at 1:35 when kids 14 and under get a free backpack. Call 463-1000.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
You certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Hey, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That
Please
dog is moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yay!
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
Well,
You're very welcome.
Time together.
The home stretch is here, and the Phillies feast on the Mets live from the Vets Saturday night at 7, exclusively on Prism, a home game home of the Phillies.
Well, let's look at the Major League Baseball scoreboard. Everything is under the lights tonight in the National League. The one game the Phillies really care about will be St. Louis at Pittsburgh, and that's Bob Tewksbury 12-7 against Steve Cook. His record 6-7. Some games being played in the American League today. One final, Toronto beat Minnesota. Or Minnesota beat Toronto, that is. We have the ticker in front of us. Yeah, it's Minnesota over Toronto by a score of 9-2. Baltimore and Detroit are 7-4 in the 4th inning. Detroit leads that, and Cleveland over Milwaukee by a score of 3-2. The rest of the games will be under the lights. Phillies with 2 changes here. Milt Thompson will come into the ball game. And as advertised, here comes the wild thing. Mitch Williams will come in and try and close it down. Mitch will be going after save number 31. He hasn't pitched since Friday night in Florida. Or Saturday night against the Marlins in Florida.
Well, he's got some runs to work with, that's for sure. Heads up play by Duncan, the pass ball, or actually wild pitch by Scott, and of course the solo home run by Hollins gave the Phillies another 2 runs to bottom in the 8th inning. They lead it by 3.
And Alou, the batter, who is 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in. Mitch Williams went into Fragosi's office today before the game, said, boy, the mound looks great. And Fragosi said, yeah, I know, it looks terrific. And Mitch said, any chance I could get on it? Fragosi just shook his head. Mitch said, no matter what happens in the 9th inning today, whatever the score is, I'll be out there. So in this case, it is a save situation for him, 1-0. Let's see what happens.
And the other good thing is Alou's at the plate with no runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Alou has really been an RBI machine lately. He's up to 74, career high for him. Alou, Laker, and Marrero scheduled to bat, as he has had an excellent series, as you see there. Moises takes it inside. 2-1. The crowd gets a little restless.
Now 45,000 people here again today. I got to tell you, from a player standpoint, what a big difference it is playing in front of a big home crowd. Because don't let them kid you. You can hear the people out there yelling and screaming and getting into it, especially when you got a chance to score some runs. You make a great play. And the more people that are here, it seems like the better the Phillies play.
He walked him. And Williams leads off the 9th inning by walking the leadoff man, Alou. And as Jay said, those 2 runs sure look good. Phillies up 7-4 here in the 9th inning. Here is Tim Laker, who came in to replace Darren Fletcher and has had a little trouble behind home plate and contributed to a couple of runs the Phillies have picked up late in this game. By the way, in that Minnesota-Toronto game, Kevin Tapani, the winner, 7-11. Jack Morris, the loser, 6-11. Kirby Puckett, numbers 13 and 14. They had 50,527 at Sky Dome for that one today. Laker fouls it off as he does the Phillies a favor and swings at that first pitch.
Sometimes you wonder about these young guys.
Well, when you're 3 runs down, I got to think first hitter's got to take a pitch.
Well, you want to take a strike, but the biggest thing is if you've never faced a guy like Mitch Williams, you like to gauge the velocity of his fastball, or at least see the movement on it, or the arm motion that he throws it with. And you know yourself, Mitch Williams could throw 3 straight balls in a row, so like take a pitch, see what he's doing and where it's going.
In the on-deck circle is Marrero, the left-handed batting first baseman.
See, had he taken that pitch, the count would be 3-0 instead of 2-1.
Could be, sure. There's Padres. There's nothing Johnny could do but watch. Well, Todd Pratt goes out to talk to Williams about something. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the 9th inning. Phillies lead it by 3. And Moises Alou on at first. They're not holding him on. Laker pops it up right side. Long run, Jordan and Duncan. Can anybody get there? Nice play, Mariano Duncan. Outstanding running catch by Duncan. That ball was not very high in the air. He had a long way to go for it.
And the hard part about that is, you know, the ball is going to come down. Jordan lost his hat, had no glasses on, and Duncan flipped his glasses down. He knew the ball was going to kind of slide right back into him. Ball has a tendency from a right-hand hitter to do that. And so Duncan was right there and made the basket catch.
Now they'll bat Marrero here. They have one right-handed batter left, the switch hitter Lou Frazier, and he's moved out to bat for Scott, who's due next. Marrero keeps swinging at that first pitch here in his first major league game. Does it again. They've had 2 hitters swing at first pitches in this inning. Marrero is 2 for 4. Gets jammed. Looper down the third base line. It is just foul. That was very close to a second and third situation.
It's one of those pitches where a pitcher makes a great pitch, jams a batter, and he flares it the opposite way and ends up with a double. Had a few of those myself.
Yeah, you're happy to get them.
You're darn right. My hands hurt for a couple of days, but I took the hit.
Pitcher scream, hit it like a man. The ball's at 2 strikes. Right. 3 calls. Struck him out. And West gives a very strange strikeout sign, as if he was giving it to the crowd that has been on him down the right field line.
Look at this pitch. After he busted him inside a couple times.
See West?
Yeah.
See what he did there?
Yep.
Can't.
Like he's pointing over at the crowd behind the Phillies.
No doubt what he was doing then. Here is Lou Frazier, the pinch hitter.
How about
for
the
Scott
pitch that Mitch made after he had those wild pitches before he paints the corner on the outside on him? Wow.
And this pitch is low. One ball and no strikes on Frazier, the switch hitter, who fouls it off. 1-1. Mitch Williams trying to put the Expos away. Phillies trying to sweep the series from Montreal and go 31 games over 500 for the first time this year in this truly remarkable season they're putting together. And the 1-1 on the way. Foul away again. This will bring a lot of the crowd to their feet as they anticipate the final out. The guy makes a great catch in the upper deck. And they're on their feet. Ball, 2 strikes. Base hit, center field. Lou Frazier prolongs the inning. And Mitch never has it easy. That'll bring up Sean Berry, who has some power.
You didn't think it would be easy, did you?
No. Sean Berry, who struck out against Larry Anderson his last time up. Pitch to Berry, popped him up. It is playable. Stocker going back, waves off Thompson, and then he grabs it. Bill Thompson grabs onto Kevin Stocker. The Phillies have swept the Montreal Expos. They had to come from behind a couple times today, but they win by a score of 7-4. 3 hours and 6 minutes before over 45,000 here today. And we'll be right back.
From
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania. People are searching for new choices in healthcare.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
It seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
When good just isn't good enough.
Well, yeah, looks like you got a new pride and joy.
Well, it's not exactly new, but it's new to me.
And I see you're putting in super premium.
You bet. I saved every dollar I made for 2 years to buy this, so I'm giving it nothing but the best.
Nice car.
See what I mean?
So when good just isn't good enough for you, experience our best. Fly with the new superpower, Citgo.
An ad for a roommate brought a stranger into Allison's life. Someone
Beautiful on you.
who shares.
Well, it's kind of fun having a girlfriend again.
Someone
Do you guys know when you'll be back?
who cares.
Where the hell have you been?
Someone who would kill to be her. Single, white, female.
It's a really good-looking Phillies road jersey, free for kids 14 and under, compliments of Gatorade, when the Phillies play the Mets Sunday, August 15th at 1:35. Get a free new jersey when the Phillies play New York. Call 463-1000.
Here's the summary on the ball game. The Phillies scored late to finally win this ball game by a score of 7-4. Roger Mason is now 4-1 in a Phillies uniform. He picks up the win. Tim Scott, the loser, 4-2. Mitch Williams with a 1-2-3-4-5-6 ninth inning, his 31st save of the year, and a home run for Dave Hollins. Number 13 gave the Phillies a little more insurance in the 8th. Kevin Stocker knocked in the winning run with a ground ball base hit up the middle. This is after Stocker had a little bit of trouble defensively early in the game. He struck out with the bases loaded at one point and nobody out. But Kevin Stocker has a lot that you like about him, and right there he shows what he's made of as he gets a hit late in the ball game after a tough start, knocks in the eventual winning run. The Phillies added a couple after that, so that is why we are naming him our Texaco star of the game. Good job by Kevin Stocker. There's the final on the game. The Phillies now with a 7.5 game lead. The Pirates and the Cardinals play tonight at Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, and Jay and I will be back right after this.
Do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. Ask for budget smart rates for great prices on cars that won't crap your style, all with unlimited mileage. The smart money is on budget.
Save now on every #1 selling Ford at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. For just $249 per month, drive the Ford Taurus, the #1 selling car in America, or save $1,700. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer during Ford's factory authorized clearance.
See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Hurry! Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn?
Mow the lawn.
Mr. Carr, is there something personal in this?
I told you he was dangerous. What's it gonna take? Me in a body bag?
Anything I seem to do makes it worse.
I got a cop who wants my wife. Stay here and lock the door. Do it!
She's all alone, Mikey.
Turn! Back up!
And back at Veterans Stadium, the good news for Phillies fans, they sweep the Montreal Expos this afternoon, winning this afternoon by a score of 7-4 in the business person special. Tight ball game, but Dave Hollins helped give them a little breathing room, Jay, in the 8th inning.
Just like the Phillies have done all year, another Philly comes through with another big 2-out hit. Stocker in the at the bottom of the 8th inning, then Hollins following up with a home run to give them an additional insurance run. So all year long, the Phillies have really had some key hits in situations where there's been 2 outs. And there was 2 shining examples of it right there.
I think today you have to look at the bullpen, what a good job they did, because Montreal scored early off Tommy Green, who was a little bit rusty after that layoff. The bullpen came in, did a really good job. Mason picking up the win, and Mitch getting the save in the 9th.
Well, Anderson and West both have pitched very well all year long. West coming in, making a great pitch on Larry Walker, getting out of the inning, keeping the score where it was, and of course Williams coming in and giving us a little thrill there in the first at batter, but doing his usual thing and picking up another save.
And Mike Williams also giving the Phillies a 1-scoreless inning today, so the bullpen doing a terrific job as the Phillies win the ball game by that score of 7-4. The New York Mets coming in this weekend, and we will have that game for you Saturday on Prism. The Larry Rosen pregame show will begin at 6:30, and then we'll have the game for you at 7 o'clock as the Mets bring that circus to town, and the Phillies hope they can beat them a couple games over the weekend. So thanks a lot for watching this afternoon. Good ball game. The Phillies win by a score of 7-4. For my colleagues Jay Johnstone and Gary Maddox, this is Chris Wheeler. The final again, Phil 7 and the Expos 4. We'll see you Saturday night.
Phillies baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, no other book can match it, a Bell Atlantic company. By Texaco, save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fueler Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American road. By Coca-Cola, Phillies baseball and Coca-Cola, always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Foods, the company that says trust your family with our family. By your local Quality Plus Ford dealer, now is the time to save big on the best-selling cars and trucks in America during your Ford dealer's model year-end clearance. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, a participating advertiser in Phillies baseball. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Richard Schickel of Time magazine says The Fugitive is a first-rate thriller. It's fast and furious, raves David Anson of Newsweek. Starts at a gallop and never stops to catch its breath. Harrison Ford is The Fugitive, rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
A fabulous Jules Jurgensen watch. Jules Jurgensen, creator of fine timepieces since 1740 and winner of 32 international awards. Jules Jurgensen, the ultimate fine watch.
The home stretch is here, and the Phillies feast on the Mets live from the Vet Saturday night at 7, exclusively on Prism, the home game home of the Phillies.